we are live with session
Live.
3 of Embers of the Phoenix. Where
Embers
do,
of the Phoenix.
who wants to fill in Charles what his character did for you guys?
Committed ritualistic seppuku.
Nice. Finally.
No. You want to do it or shall I?
So I'll give my recap, and then you can fill in the details that I missed, because I feel like I am going to have missed a lot. So we came back to town after having successfully gotten rid of the spider threat. On the way back, we ran into like a wolf thing, I think it was, and we managed to kind of skirt around it because we knew it could speak goblin, but we didn't want to find out that it was potentially hazardous, and we were kind of...
It was a death dog.
Yeah, we were kind of not in great health, so we just figured why take our chances and we can just go around and get to town. When we got to town, the queen, in her infinite loving wisdom of doing this kind of shit, decided to post wizards around to do some fucking mind reading, because that's not an invasion of anybody's privacy. And so we tried to resist. Some of us succeeded, some of us failed. I said something that I feel like in character was maybe a little out of character for the character, but he'll be dealing with that, I think, throughout the session. The rest of the party seemed to get through without any sort of inquisition about things. And we made it back to town. We talked a little bit at the bar about our personal lives. Osrin kind of, or not Osrin, I'm sorry. Judge D did some wondering about the bar. And we all kind of headed to bed. The next morning, we set out again back to the mines in order to dig deep within them. And while we were in there, we ran into some halflings that were trying to steal some iron from the mine. We managed to capture them, and I think they're not both dead, but maybe one of them was dead. And that is what I remember from the session, but I feel like I'm forgetting things.
So in the beginning, we buried the 2 dead goblins that were in the mine, because Zeus said that's how we could honor them. We buried each of them under a tree, and we saw some weird symbols, and Zeus said they were just goblin things. We found some kind of supplies in the mine, but not much of interest. Ronald was asking about enhancing my weapon and my armor, and then they started talking about skinning rabbits. Real gross. So I went and got another drink, and then I started getting hit on. It definitely wasn't someone's trying to start a fight. They were trying to hit on me. Ronald also, in the morning before we went to the mine, went to buy some potions and was asking the shopkeep how things are going and if he thinks he's getting a fair deal. Surprise, surprise. As we headed to the mine, we encountered, I think it was Gison, who was on a horse and asked if we had seen an orc named Lafuga. I don't know if any of these names are right, and showed us a picture. And then before we encountered the halflings in the mine, we cleared out some of the webs and tried to evaluate the food to see if it was safe to eat. And we took there was a piece of the wall, I guess, and that was making a screeching sound. So we took it out, and Ronald puts it in his extra dimensional space pouch. And yep, that's what I have to add.
Okay. That seems very clear to me.
Cool.
Yeah, so we can pick off where you guys left off in that mine, where you have subdued 2 halflings who are trying to shank you guys. But you guys have them both bound and restrained. One of them is unconscious, one of them is conscious.
Well, I suppose it'd be a good and useful thing for you to tell us who you work for. I'd like to work out a fair deal with you. If you're willing to be fair to us.
What do you want to know?
Who are you here on behalf of?
We work alone. This is me and my brother. We're just trying to get a quick score and sell the iron.
Can I sense motive on that?
Of
Just
course
to
you
see if
can.
something feels off about it.
I'd also like the sense motive.
Yes, you may.
Osrin, still waiting on judges. Do we all have a sense motive as well? Are we all...
I only have +1, so not high.
Oh, why?
Oh, 13. How abysmal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the sense that he seems to be telling the truth. What he's saying kind of lines up with what you see. It's just two of them. They are collecting iron. The only odd thing is the amount of gear you found on them and the fact that they had that, like, booby trap that alerted them seems a little out of their league, maybe.
Right,
Or-
they don't look like
yeah,
wizards because they didn't
exactly.
cast any spells or anything like that, so something is unusual about this. But maybe they work on their own and know a place that they're going to sell it to, I think
Sure.
would be the next thing I'm thinking. So, like, well, what was your plan for how to sell it?
Well, it's, the drums of war are beating. They don't really ask where needed supplies are coming from. We just drop them off to any blacksmith will take it.
Wow, war profiteering.
And
comes
you
to
got a preference? You got a preference for what country you're selling these off to?
Well, I mean, we bring it to the closest place, which is Rachel. We just sell it there. I assume it's going toward that side.
That's the next most important question that I'm looking for. Any sort of sliver of falseness in him.
Yeah, you feel like there's more that's going on. He's clearly trying to be vague and give you, like, not really good detail.
Now, let's say, for example, though, you're happening on the road, and a Maldonian merchant might happen to pass on through, or let's say some kind of vampire or some other shitty,
Vampire?
terrifying creature decides that it's willing to trade you for your iron, and it gives you a better price than you feel the blacksmiths in town will. You just unload it to them.
I would assume so, right?
He's thinking.
You know what he's thinking? He's thinking, do you know that vampire?
No, of course not. I only sell it to.
You're stumbling like a fool there, boy.
Listen, we don't have much money. Of course, we take the best price, but please don't hold it against me.
I'm not here to hold a bunch of things against you aside from the fact that you're criminals.
Oh, hold on. We're not criminals. This is a unoccupied mine. We weren't stealing.
It is a grey matter to be sure. The mine is owned by the crown, right?
Well, I mean, technically maybe, but they abandoned it. They it's just here for anyone who comes across it.
Abandonment
Sure,
isn't
they did abandon it.
abandonment isn't always a lack of ownership.
Well, I'm not one. I don't have a mind for a legal sense. I don't know. I thought it was free for the taking if no one's here.
Ron, why do you care if someone's stealing from the queen?
You guys don't work for the queen?
Dear God, you guys have not been properly prepped on this kind of work. All right, it's time we come clean as well. We
There
do
you
not
go.
work for the crown.
Oh, Thank the gods.
I don't
thought
think
you were
I
gonna...
ever said we did, but I said I would
I
turn you in,
assumed.
but not to who.
Yeah. Oh. Wait, then to who?
Well, we are our own group. We are working to make sure the country makes better decisions than it is currently making.
Okay.
This war, do you want to be conscripted into it?
No. As you saw, me and my brother were not very keen for war.
I think there are a great many people who are not, and a great many of them will die if war breaks out. I would rather us avoid it where we can. If we can get ourselves to get the country back to at least stability, the people will have the ability to make the decision as to whether or not we go to war, not just the Queen. It is our goal to make sure it is in the hands of the people that the decision will be made.
Oh. That sounds like a great ideal.
Well, it could be, except that some people who have questionable allegiances, and I'm like dead staring at him, might ruin it for us if they're allowed to talk.
No. Me and my brother, we won't say a word. No word from us. If you can let us go, that is. You won't hear from us again. This is...
I don't want to let you go.
What are you going to do?
I want to put you on the payroll.
The payroll?
A job that requires your skills, I think, would be more beneficial than coming in here and trying to raid the mine of iron, having to carry it out, wander the woods, potentially get assaulted by a random creature that wants to eat you, and not making it home. How many near deaths have you had?
Well, to be honest, we never venture too deep in here. We usually just come in for a few pounds of iron and be on our way. We're pretty good at getting around unnoticed.
You also good with your eyes?
Yeah, no, I'm as good as anyone, I would think.
Let's give it a try. Does anybody have sleight of hand?
Oh.
Can anybody do some tricks with their hands?
I don't think I
Not me.
can. I think I was
Unless
not
you
my...
count with my sword.
Yeah, I don't have sleight of hand.
That makes things a little more difficult. How about this? Everybody's good at hiding. Why don't the three of you hide, and we'll see if he can manage to find you.
All right. He closes his eyes.
Yep.
Lets you guys find a good hiding spot. God damn. Okay. Jesus. You guys are good at hiding.
Are we supposed to hide now?
Yeah.
If you want, you don't have to. Whoever wants to.
Isn't that stealth?
Stealth, yep.
Yeah. Actually, he's going to... So yeah, he initially starts looking around and he can't, but he'll say, give me a minute, I'll find them, and if he takes 2 minutes, he will eventually spot them out, aka he'll take 20.
Okay.
And then he will barely see Osrin.
Alright, well, your eyes aren't as good as I was hoping for.
Oh, it only took me a few minutes to spot him out. They're good at hiding.
They are good at hiding. But also, it shouldn't take you 2 minutes. I'm not trying to offend you, boy. What I'm trying to do is make sure I know what you're best at, so I can properly compensate you for your best skill, and not have you in here using a knife to try to mine iron.
What were you thinking?
I was hoping you could act as scouts when we start bringing the miners in here. We got a plan to get the miners back to work. If we could have some eyes, or ears, or something along those lines, perhaps we could get the miners in a position, and you could, of course, take your own cut for keeping an eye on things.
Oh, I can't speak for my brother, but when he wakes up, I'm sure that this deal sounds more than fair. Well, as long as we keep our heads, we'll do the job.
Well, I need your eyes to be good.
They are.
How about your hiding? Do you hide? Well, that's a hard thing to test. I don't want to necessarily give you an easy ability to hide around here.
I can hide better than I can spot people, I can tell you that. But with me being even smaller than you, I can hide behind things most people can't.
That's fair. It's where you and the goblin probably have some sort of significant advantage.
Mm-hmm. Can I get a D100 from someone in the party?
Yep, we've been here too long.
No. Ooh. Only Zoo and Osrin, you guys hear this as if someone was speaking in the same room as you, but you see no one there. But you hear, "You filthy creatures! Stay away from my tower, or else you'll experience an excruciating death. I'll chop your heads off and put them on pikes."
Yeesh.
I'm sorry, what?
You don't hear
Stay
that.
away from my
I'm sorry,
what?
you did say.
Osrin and Zoo only hear that. And it sounded like it was coming
okay.
from someone who was, like, standing maybe right beside you, but you, like, look around when you start hearing this speaking and you see no one.
What did they say to stay away from?
Their tower.
Tower.
There's a tower here.
What?
What the fuck was that?
What do you mean?
That
Fuck was
creepy
what?
voice? You didn't hear that?
I didn't hear anything.
The halfling looks very confused, and he looks at you, Ron, and he says, Are your friends alright? Have they been too close to the fever stone?
And you filthy creatures, stay away or I'll put your head on a pike or something.
Well, I didn't hear any of this, so I don't understand what's going on at all. What are we doing with pikes?
Trying to get our heads not on them.
Something. Is this some kind of goblin thing? Only the
Yeah,
two
not
goblins are hearing it. Maybe stay away from the walls a bit.
I don't know why I heard that. That's creepy.
If anyone in the party has spellcraft, you can give me a check, and perhaps you could figure out what's going on.
I think I know, but
I don't, but I want to do a perception to see if I notice anything, but I don't.
What are we doing?
Spellcraft if you have it. No, it's not good enough.
Huh. No, spellcraft. Okay. Intriguing.
no idea.
Yeah,
from the
not
party.
sure. It definitely appears to. It probably is some magical something, but you're not sure.
I want
what.
to do a. Let's see. Wait, can you do a take 10 on sense motive?
No, because there's a penalty for failure.
I'm wanting to sense motive of everybody else who says they didn't hear it to see if I think they're telling the truth.
Yeah, as long as obviously no one's lying, the halfling will make a roll. Yeah, you believe the halfling looks generally confused by you. Everyone else seems to be, unless anyone wants to lie about hearing it, they seem to be all genuinely confused and don't know what you're talking about.
Oh. Something with magic is speaking here. I'm not sure how. You haven't heard anything while you've been down here? To the halfling.
No, the first thing I heard was my stone going off, alerting us you guys were coming.
Where'd you get that stone?
He ponders for a moment. Where did I get that?
Ponder on your orb.
You know, one comes across
Orb
many
pond?
things in their travels.
What all the kids are into.
Yes, one does come across things. But where did you come across that?
Yeah, Must have nicked it off someone at one point. I don't remember.
I'm gonna walk up next to him, and I'm gonna take the alarm thing that I took off the wall and put it next to his ear. Did it sound like this?
What are you doing? Oh God! And then
Does it sound like this when it goes off?
Yes, it does. Put that away.
I'm
You're
gonna put it
tracked
back.
everything in here. Yeah.
Oh, you're worried about things being down here now.
But yeah, just for that moment that you took it out, it was also loud for the party, but not like excruciating. But it like echoes off the walls, and just a loud screeching sound erupts, and then quickly dissipates as Ronald puts it back in his pouch. My ears. That wasn't very nice.
I'm not trying to be mean. I just want to know if it's the same sound.
Yes, it's the same sound. That's one of them.
So somehow you just happened upon a stone of alarm that's attuned specifically to you.
I mean, like, looks like it works for anyone. It's going off when you have it.
This just goes off. I can't figure out how to shut it off.
Oh,
Let me see yours. Where is it?
You have it.
Did I take it from him?
No, you have the one he's saying.
Oh, you mean
is
one of
his.
the party members picked it up in the loot that we took off of them, you're saying?
No. The one you have, he's saying is his.
Ah, so he heard the one up there going off.
Yeah.
So you put this one there.
Yeah, that was our alarm, I guess, in case someone was coming up behind us, which it worked, but we took too long to get out of here.
How do you turn it off?
Well, do you plan on keeping it? It's kind of mine. Can I have it back?
It's something
Well,
we can
this
negotiate on since we're talking about working for you. Or you working for us, rather.
Okay. I just feel like if I tell you the word to turn it off, you might want to keep it.
I give you my word. It is not my property. I won't keep it if it's yours.
Okay. Do you speak halfling?
I don't speak a whole lot of things. I can try to say the word. Hopefully my accent won't cause a problem.
You should be able to manage it. It is Tarster.
Tartar?
Tarster.
Toaster.
No. Tarster.
I'll pull it out. And I'll pull it out. Tarster.
Yeah, this sound will stop as the word is uttered.
It makes sense that halflings would use toaster as a.
Not toaster, Tarster.
Oh. I'll
Always
throw it.
about food with you guys. Toaster.
I'll throw the alarm stone on the ground next to him. I'll delete it from my inventory.
He'll take it. Thank you. You are a man of your word.
Not much without it.
Well, for your honesty, there are 2 other ones at the other entrances if you want them.
All right. How'd you get them stuck on the things?
Well, that's how they work. As you said the word as well, that piece of wood jumps off it. It falls
okay.
off.
Got it. Then I probably would not have asked that.
Yeah.
That's pretty smart. Perhaps those could be of use to us. Are they can you make them only make that noise, or can you make them ring privately for you?
No, they emit that piercing screech. No matter what. Same word for all of them, though.
Do they only pick up people? Or does it pick up anything that's alive? Or is it movement?
I'm not an expert, but I think it's anyone who touches it. I haven't had experience if an animal tries to or anything else, but if a person touches it, it's supposed to do that screaming sound.
Does it stop? And you have to re-speak the word when it's done.
To stop
Or
it, you
it's
do,
gone.
yeah. Or if you know the secret word, you can say it and then touch it, and it'll deactivate it. If you touch it before saying the word, it'll do that sound.
All right, then. I think we might be able to work out a deal. I think that stone could be rather useful for what we plan to do. I think you both can manage that stone, and if I would like you to keep the word as secret as possible. So how'd you like to be our official doorman for the mines? We can set up a way that you guys man the door. If anyone goes through at the distance post, you guys can keep hidden up top. If anybody goes to the door, we'll hear the alarm. You can go disable it by whispering to it. Once it's disabled, we can go back to normal business, figure out what the hell caused the problem.
We can do that. I didn't want to be rude, but what kind of wage are we talking for our time here?
We'll have to figure out some of the details, but as a little bonus up front, I will flick 5 gold, or I'll drop 5 gold onto the ground, or I guess onto his lap. I think he's like sitting because we've got him tied up. So I'll drop 5 gold onto his lap.
Oh.
There's a little bit of starting money, so you know we're serious about it.
Oh, yes. I don't know if I caught your name.
You can call me Ron.
Ron. Did you get my name?
I did not.
Well, you can call me Nelos. And that's my brother, Belos.
Belos and Belos. I'm waiting on my note program to open up. Belos and Belos.
This amount of gold is definitely showing you're serious, so I'm sure my brother will be game for it when he wakes up. He is okay over there, right?
Seemed to have been.
Are you able to heal him so he can wake up?
I do actually have some spells, so I will go over and weaken, or try to with a cure. Get rid of one of my other spells to cast it. That go through. Oh, no, that didn't. Use.
There we go. Yes, that will wake him up. And, I don't know if that symbol, if he was prone before, I think he was. By the doggo. I'll just take that off, assuming the dog lets him go.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets up, he's like, what's going on? And then his brother...
I'll drag him over by his brother so they can talk a little more easily.
Yeah, he'll start calming him down and start speaking halfling to him, and I don't know if you guys speak halfling, but his brother will calm down eventually and nod, and then speak up and say, it seems like you've done a lot of the negotiating with my brother, but we thank you for not taking our heads, and we'll be glad to take the job.
Good. I'm glad to hear it, and I'll drop 5 gold in his lap as well.
Oh, thank you. You're very generous.
You're welcome. But I'm gonna be asking you. You're gonna need to stay in the Bispot from now on.
The Bispot, I think we've heard of it.
We'll have our eye on you while you're there.
Sure.
Alright, well, your first work begins today. Keep an eye on things. Are there more of those boxes do you know of?
We haven't really ventured deeper, but we were told by our sources that there are boxes littered around the mine left here. The deeper you go, supposedly you'll find more.
Alright, the deal I have for you is if you get it all together, I'll work out a fair enough deal where you'll get most of what you find from what you gather up here.
Alright, how much did you want us to gather? We didn't want to venture too deep.
I'm not asking you to venture deep. I don't need you to go dying. Find what you can, bring it up towards the surface. Don't bring it out to sell. We want to make sure the iron ends up in the hands of people who need it, and in the miners' hands so they can get down here and make even more money. Right? Because if the miners are here making money, then you're making money as well.
Okay, are you going to wait outside for us? You want us to do this now, or...?
We're going to journey a little bit deeper, I'm thinking. What do you think, guys?
Sure.
So if you work on that, we'll try to make sure we clear out more space, and then maybe when we come back up, we can let you know where to secure, and you can follow back down to get more.
How do you want them to communicate with us when we're not at the mine about what's happening?
The way we usually do it, I'm assuming like there's some sort of giving notes to a certain person at the Bispot when there's an exchange that needs to happen.
Sure,
so I can give them like info. They let us know. They let the person there know what they've gathered, and then somebody will come and collect it. I need the two of you to understand very clearly. You're not going to necessarily make the kind of money you were making before, but you're not going to deal with the same risks you were dealing with before either. We're going to be taking a lot of the risk for you and making sure that you get what you need. More than what you need even, because that's what's fair. It's not only fair to get just what you need. People deserve to have some of the things they want too.
Yes, you're being more than fair. More than fair.
Very good. Well, shall we head deeper?
We already said we would.
Yeah, I'm all about it.
All right. Arfin's blessing be upon the two of you as you find the iron needed to hopefully help us not end up with your asses being conscripted.
Uh-huh. Yes, that would be good.
All right. Ronald does not expect to find them back up here when he comes back up, and expects them to try to abscond with some iron.
Maybe. But yeah.
Well, he'll be happily surprised if they aren't, or if they are still here. So.
Yes. So before you, the map's not entirely accurate, but the mine divides into two main passageways if you want to go deeper in. You can go, it's kind of one path going towards the right of you and one going to the left of you. They kind of both like start curving, and you kind of can't see what's beyond the curve on either one.
Well, the choice is up to you. You are the scouts.
Uh,
No, not those two. I mean,
Oh.
out of the party, the rest of the party, because I'm not going to be scouting.
okay.
How do you
All
want
right,
to do
who wants
this?
to do who wants to do the scouting?
Is that Osrin going forward and taking a look?
You're muted, Whitney.
Sorry, I know my mouse is being terrible.
Oh, gotcha.
I just want to kind of like take a little bit of a peek down each to see if there's anything that distinguishes them.
On the right one, you'll notice some greenish blue glow, clearly from more of this fever stone. On the left, it's like perfectly dark. From your quick
Let's
little
go
peek.
with the glow.
Go with the glow. All right, you sure about this? Means it's going to be a
No.
little more dangerous, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure there's Abyssium even if we can't see it right near the entrance for the other option.
That's fair. How about the rest of you? You all agree?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like where we're going.
All right. Lead the way. Scout away. I would recommend it not just be one of you scouting, by the way, either. Always good to have a pair of extra eyes up front. Judge, you good at, I think you're good at sneaking as well, right?
That's correct.
You can keep your eye up there, work together, and make sure we don't end up ambushed.
Did I close the window? No, I didn't.
So I'm just going ahead to scope things out and try and be sly about it.
Oh, very nice.
I am doing the same.
Alright. Can I get another perception check from everyone who's stealthed up and doing a little scouting?
Yes. Hold on a second. I thought I had the character sheet open. I did.
Oh,
Whoa.
gotta love that added
and-
D6.
And yeah, I still have to add a D6.
No, it's in there. It's auto added to it.
Okay, cool.
If you click on it, that's what expanded inspiration is.
Okay, so 30.
Oh yeah, it's in there. Nice.
Yep.
Okay, let me just read what you three hear.
It's the rat senses.
My rat sense is tingling.
Yes.
There must be
Ew,
trash
don't say
nearby.
that.
Delicious garbage.
Okay, you hear... Ooh. You hear this buzzing of wings of multiple creatures. And I need will saves from everyone who's stealthed up who hears
Oh,
this.
shit. These things are scary.
Will saves?
Will
Yes.
saves. Will saves from hearing a buzzing.
Where is the will save at on this sheet?
There's also a macro, I don't know if you added
Summary.
it, that lets you roll your saves, but yeah, it's on your summary page. You have your saves there too.
Okay.
On summary, there's will underneath your
Okay.
ACs.
I didn't see it.
Very nice. So, Zoo, you were the only one affected by this. And let's see what happens to you. So all of you feel like something like on your head like hurts, you rub it and you shake it off. But Zoo, I need you to roll me a D100. And see what Zoo does.
Confusion.
72.
I can't remember if higher is the worst thing.
Yep. Roll 1d8
Oh, no.
plus your strength mod, and you, as you hurt yourself in confusion.
She starts strangling herself with the bow.
I can't take me anymore.
Do you have a strength mod?
No.
Okay, so you just deal 4 points of damage to yourself in confusion. The Ozrin and
Cool.
Judge, you see Zoo kind of like clutching her head and then like just like using the bowstring to like strangle herself or something as she takes some damage, and you guys kind of shake it off, but then you still hear this buzzing. You feel like if you don't go back to where Ronald is, you're gonna have to endure this buzzing longer and make another save.
Can we drag our friend along with us?
Who?
Our friend.
Which one? The halflings?
Oh, is there 3 of us here or 2?
There's 3 of you there. I'm a little ways back because I'm letting you guys scout ahead.
Okay, so Michelle's character, is she capable of going back with us, or will we need to drag her back?
It depends what happens in the next 6 seconds.
I would go
Ooh,
back.
That's kind of fun.
Yeah, because this lasts quite a while.
Yeah, it does. Doesn't it end if you get out of range though?
No.
Oh, shit.
No, she's confused for a while. They are confused for a while.
Do we know what the buzzing came from? Like, can we identify that?
You can identify where it's coming from, but you have not seen it. It sounds like it must be further down this passageway, and they're...
But the buzzing noise doesn't sound like we can't be like, oh, that's definitely X or maybe X.
I'll give you a check, but it'll be at a disadvantage. Like, I'll impose some high negatives because you haven't seen it. If you have
Okay.
knowledge, the planes, or...
Oh, I have no knowledges. So I'm hoping someone else can.
Yeah, knowledge the planes.
All right, I'm going to spend my point to get the extra D6 on that.
I think that's auto rolling as well at this point
Okay, cool.
because you always get it on them basically. No, it's actually not.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
on the
so then I
notes.
will-
Plus
Oh,
4
no, it is.
extra
Okay,
to
yeah.
check.
There you go. It is
Okay,
there.
So it's in there? Okay.
Yep.
So
15 is not an
19.
impressive roll anyway.
Yeah, it was not. The curse of knowledge continues.
Yeah, so I'll just give you that you know it's something extraplanar, but you have no idea what it is. Something that clearly has wings and can confuse you if you hear it flapping its wings. So
By my whiskers, it's
All right,
something
let's
not
back
our
out of here.
plane. Okay, we're gonna corral our friend.
Retreat.
sure. Give me another D100, Michelle. Roll low.
Come on, Michelle, 100. Do it, 100.
Nice. So now, oh no, barely not.
That's attack
nice.
a party member.
No, it's still the D8. So roll another D8.
Oh, okay.
It was barely just the babble.
Oh, right. 76 to 100 is
Attack
attack a party member.
So yeah, you guys are trying to like restrain her, but she somehow gets out and like does a little scratch herself a bit and does another 4 points of damage.
Should we grab her by the ear? She doesn't have a tail.
Do they get a save ever again? I don't think so.
Hit her with insanity? I know normally though confusion does not you don't get another save until you just end you just don't get a save.
Yeah, no save. So yeah, you guys can just like restrain her after that, but we'll just roll me 4 D100s just to see if there's anything interesting that happens.
Who's rolling them?
Michelle.
Well, if I do 4 at the same time, would it just combine numbers?
No, if you do 4 D100 and if I click it, it'll give me each one, I think.
Okay.
So it should be all right.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys are aware of what's going on, you can like hold her down so she can't do anything, but she babbles incoherently at one point, does nothing, and then tries to attack you guys, but then after that, the effect will kind of wear off. You'll kind of gain your senses back, Zoo, as you were not yourself for a bit. We're very
I'd assume
confused.
by that time I would like have caught up to them.
Yeah, no, like in the middle of this, it was like a minute out, and then
Yeah.
they're like kind of dragging Zoo back to you.
All right, what are you bringing her back for in this state? Did she turn on us?
Something happened to her. No. There was a buzzing sound and she freaked out.
I detected some extraplanar activity, but I
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
could not determine what it was. And then she started choking herself with her bow.
It sounds like something dangerous to the miners. Do you guys think we could get close enough to get rid of it?
We can try. Our goblinoid friend here, however, might be susceptible.
It's fair. I don't have any way to coat her ears.
We could deafen her with a dagger, then have her healed.
That's a little much. That's definitely a little much. Well, what do y'all want to do? I think we go forward.
Yeah.
Perhaps now that she's been hit by it, I know sometimes when you're hit by something, if it was a spell, then she's done with it. Right? You're back to normal? I'm gonna snap in front of Zoo's face.
I think.
All right. And what about the two of you? Did you feel it as well?
Bother me too much, not like it did her.
I didn't enjoy it as such.
Well, I'm willing to try, but it's up to you guys. I don't want to put you all in danger.
Well, we need to get rid of it anyway, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, so then we might as well address the issue.
All right, I'll lead the way then this time.
All right, so you guys head back down the same passage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm at the front.
All right,
since
you
I
guys
can take a shot.
Yeah, are you guys moving as like one big group, or are you spread out at all?
I'm assuming Zoo would probably be in the back a little ways for optimal shooting.
I think we wouldn't be too far apart, though.
Yeah. Maybe leaving 5 feet between each of us. Just
Alright.
optimal to get fireballed the whole party to death.
Lightning bolt.
Yep. One line. We're all in a line, John. How's
We're all
that
in a
sound?
line.
Does us being in a line or bunched together excite you more?
Neither does. Before you go down, I would say you guys notice you are all not your full strength. Does anyone want to address that? Or
Yes. I think I just didn't remember that from last session. Let me... Charles, you should have some of your extracts you can use. Because we didn't give you any of your extracts yet.
So what happened to some of my extracts got used?
You didn't use any yet. So you may want to give yourself one of your cure lights, and then I will... I'll heal up the wolf. With a mod. That's for the wolf. Sorry, I should have...
So
I'm only
Wolf
down
isn't
4
down
points.
any.
Oh, I thought the wolf was. The wolf shows that it's down.
yeah, it says it. Yeah, I remember I crit your wolf. I think last session.
Oh, on the character sheet, it's not showing any damage.
Oh, really?
I was looking at that. Yeah, it still says 27 out of 27.
The mini says it's down.
Yeah, so it probably is. I don't know why it didn't update on the sheet.
Strange.
How do I add the...
Oh, so the way to do this is right-click on your character, Charles.
Okay.
Then click the little targeting arrow that appears next to your character.
Okay.
Then go to your character sheet. Then on your character sheet, click on the spell. Or I'm sorry, there's a little sword that's next to the spell. Next to where the castings per day is, click on that sword.
Okay.
Under your spells tab. And then if you use it, that should auto heal you. It should use the spell and then take away the spell points.
Okay, so it's saying use spell, so then I click again?
Yeah.
Did it go through?
No, it didn't. There's another box that comes up over top of it, I believe. And it should say, there's another button that'll say, use, because it's got extra things that you can fill in if there were bonuses or other things.
God, I feel kind of...
No, the sheet's not intuitive until you get used to it. It makes sense why they do it the way they do it. There you go. Although you have spell failure, which shouldn't be affecting you because this doesn't have a spell failure check. There you go. So you healed for 4. And it didn't auto-apply.
Yeah, it won't auto-apply. You have to click apply healing.
Oh, right. So then if you go next to where it says healing, and then the number, do you see the little plus sign next to it?
Where is it set?
On the where all the rolls go.
Okay.
So do you see the line that says healing 4?
Right here? Yes. No,
and then if you mouse over it to the right of it, there's one there's a plus sign that's there.
Yes.
Click that plus sign. There you go.
Okay.
You may want to heal yourself again.
So hold on, just double checking. So investigator doesn't get arcane spell failure.
He's wearing. Hold on. So he should be wearing. Let me look at the. No, because they're extracts. He prepares them during the day, and then drinks them as a potion.
Gotcha. And I guess he could just prepare them when he's not wearing whatever.
Well, the plan is, yeah, they're all prepared at the start of the day, so you're not armored up when you're doing it.
Gotcha. All right. I just unchecked spell failure and then.
Okay. But you probably are going to want to use another one, because that was only 4, and that only put you about halfway. Not even really.
You have to make sure to hit the sword to actually use it. When you just click the dice over the icon, it just gives the description.
And is Zoo really still that injured?
Did you heal Zoo at all?
I did not heal Zoo yet, so
No, that is how it would.
then let me also use up another spell here.
Ooh, 9. There you go.
All right, there you go.
Thank
That
you.
should be better. Oh, sorry. Did you? I don't know if you'll have to scroll back up to your 9, Charles. Sorry, rolled at the same time.
That's quite all right.
But if you scroll back up to the 9 and hit the plus, it should have. Yep, there we go. Perfect. Woohoo! All right. Thank you for the reminder, because we did mean to do that at the end of the session.
I'm down 4. I don't know that it really matters, but I just
That
want to
should
tell
be
you
okay.
so
Hopefully.
nobody complains.
Yeah, so you guys approach that passageway all healed up, and you will all have to give me a will save as you hear the buzz of several of these creatures buzzing away.
That didn't go well.
Uh-oh.
Does the wolf also need one?
Yes. Wait, what? How? What int does it have?
2.
Oh, let me double check. I think it said something about.
I know
Ooh,
regular
11.
Confusion doesn't, but. Uh-oh. It would suck to not have the wolf and Osrin and Judge.
I thought I was reading something about having a low int not being affected by this, but it doesn't look like it's this.
My spells, or the number of spells I should have is wrong. Or like excessive. I should have-
But yeah, Osrin, Judge, and Big, you all feel a hint of confusion come over you. And you'll all have to roll me a D100.
I should have found.
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh, somebody's getting attacked.
Zoo, you babble incoherently.
Well,
Judge D, you hurt yourself for 1d8 plus your strength mod if you have any.
That was just for Zoo.
Yeah, Zoo babbles incoherently. Judge, you hurt yourself for 1d8, so you're going to have to roll a 1d8 plus any strength mod you have. And Osrin, I guess you guys can meta a little bit. Whoever would be closest to you, you want to attack.
No, wait. Did I do that wrong?
Nope, I think you.
All right, who
rolled,
would have been closest
right.
to me?
You took 5 damage, Judge D.
Probably me. I imagine that I'd be between you and Judge D as we're traveling. So.
All
I
right.
try to do an attack roll.
Yes,
Yep.
you do.
How do I
confusion.
adjust my hit points down, guys?
Same way as Roll20. You can do it on your sheet, or you can do it on the token. If you right-click it, you'll see a 19 box. You can click in there and do -5.
What's your AC?
That misses
Okay.
Osrin. I'm at 23.
Great.
Even flat-footed, I'm at
Wonderful.
23 because I'm all armor.
All right, yeah. So you miss, or you scratch along his armor. What do you guys want to do in your next 6-second round? Is or Ronald? You'll look to them, and they all look. Or no, did someone else pass? Oh, sorry, Zoo, you passed. Sorry,
Yeah, the dog is babbling.
the dog
Yeah.
is babbling. Sorry. So yeah, Zoo and Ronald, you'll notice your other 2 party members and your dog, not in their right state of mind.
I would think we just try and keep going.
Very annoying, but don't have any way to deal with it.
All right, you guys press forward.
No, perhaps we should fall back. Perhaps spells for the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess
just
we'll.
confused by this whole thing.
I'll kind of wait here and try to take care of them. I guess until the effect wears off. I'll try to stay close. I'll try to move so that I'm in between everybody, just to make sure. And I'll ask Zoo to kind of stay back so they don't do anything crazy.
What languages does everyone speak? Anyone have any?
No.
I am Common, Dwarven, and Draconic.
I have Common and Goblin.
And I'm Goblin as well.
Gotcha. All
What
right.
about the judge?
I am looking. Would
I
that
don't
be
remember.
under?
I just see common on your sheet, but you might have Radfolk too by default.
He also
Common,
should have
Radfolk.
4 bonus languages on top of it, but I
Yeah,
don't think
so I need to pick those. Where do I put those at?
during session 0 we forgot to go over them.
Attributes page, there's like a language box in the bottom left. And there's like a little edit button. You can click that and open up, and you can click your languages. So if you want to pick them now, no pressure. You might get one that helps, but I don't know if you would have this random language. But
Well, it's limited to what he would get as Rat
Right.
if he did, because he didn't take any linguistics. And I don't know what they have for starting languages or if they even put together a list proper.
No,
see.
it just says common and Radfolk, so I would just default to the. I'm clicking on languages, and then
Well,
I
there should
click
be
on
bonus languages available to you for int.
Yeah, you can have yeah.
Aklo, Draconic, Dwarven, Gnoll, Gnome, Goblin, Halfling, Orc, or Undercommon. So from out of those, I guess right now it would probably be good if you had Draconic.
How do I add them, guys?
Hit the edit button next to where it says languages. And then
Okay.
it'll pop up a list of all the languages to choose from.
And I am not getting that. Shit.
It's or do you see that little button? It's like a little page with a pencil. Do you see that?
Yes.
Oh, and you're clicking and nothing's happening?
Nothing.
There should be a separate window that opens up. You may have to go back to. I don't know if you have your character sheet popped out.
I do.
Yeah, it
Okay,
might be
so
a
you
bug.
need to go back to the. You need to go back to the window where all the roles are, in order to see it.
Okay.
And then you should see the list, right?
And if you don't, you might want to just close your character sheet and open it in the game, because sometimes there's some bugs
Yep.
with popping it out.
This is part of the known issues of pop out.
Unfortunate.
Okay. So where the language is at again? I'm very sorry.
So close your character sheet and pop out, and have it open it up again, but leave it within the game area.
Okay.
And then go back to attributes, and then click the edit button for
Okay. I
languages.
see the languages now. Now, which are
Yep.
the ones that are?
So you can pick from Aklo, Draconic, Dwarven, Gnoll, Gnome, Goblin, Halfling, Orc, and Undercommon. So I think you having Draconic would be good, and probably Goblin would be good.
Okay.
But outside of that, I mean, you can kind of decide from your background. Do you think you'd have been around the Underdark a little more? Do you think you'd have been around dwarves? Do you think you'd have been around halfling? Do you think you'd have been in the woods a lot?
No, I mean I want to be like with civilized people, so like dwarf and one halfling.
Okay. Yeah, then that makes sense.
And then I just close the sheet, or is there some changes?
Just close it. Once you check them, just close it and it'll save. Or
Okay,
there should be
cool.
like an update button, rather. At the bottom. It should say update actor.
Oh, I bet you that didn't work out. Okay.
It didn't. Yeah, you'll have to hit the edit button again and do it again. It's alright. It's all getting used to it.
Okay, so that's features, or where's it at?
Under attributes, and then languages down at the bottom.
I can't even. There we go.
It's really bizarre that we forgot about this when we were doing all the trying to get everybody in sync.
Okay, so we're gonna do Draconic,
Yep.
Dwarven, Goblin, Halfling,
Yep.
Update Actor. Okay.
And then, yep, okay. Sounds like we're good. Looks like
There
we're
you
good.
Okay.
There's one missing. I'm going to throw it on here just because I'm in it. Oh no, there is no line for Ratfolk on here. So.
I think you can add custom one or other or something.
Oh, special. Yeah. Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't scroll down further.
Do I
But
need
it's
to
still
add
not
that?
there. I got it. I have the sheet open, so.
So yeah, as you guys are pulling back and you're kind of holding people apart so they don't hurt each other or hurt anyone, you'll just hear echoing from that source of the buzzing. Let's all move on in the fall.
We weren't supposed to understand that, right?
Correct.
No.
It's in
Just
either
making sure.
infernal or abyssal.
Does your character know that, or do you know that?
Well, I think in character, I'm portraying how I think sort of the demonic languages would sound. So you in character know it's like some sort of infernal or abyssal or something, probably.
We know it's something from the
Something
outer
harsh,
planes,
yeah.
and I think that Ron has just the right level of passive racism. He would assume it's something deep and evil as opposed to something nice and friendly like a celestial.
Yeah, it
I don't think the
definitely doesn't
Celestials sound
sound
like-
friendly.
I feel like celestials would be like la 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 la.
Yeah, I feel like the celestial sound music, you know what I mean? It'd be more musical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, one could say infernal and abyssal sound kind of like musical, but it's more like when you're listening to like German like rock music.
Yes.
Dolphinstein and
But yeah, you guys can keep moving back. The sound of the buzzing fades away if you move back into the main cavern again.
Yeah. Once everybody seems to have their head back about them, all right, let's head up a little bit. I have an idea. We'll see if our friends we can maybe get something put here. Just make sure it doesn't move. I think they had a good
Okay.
idea with the walls thing. So yeah, let's head back up and then see if those guys are still there.
Yeah, they're scurrying about, collecting some iron. They already have like one box here that's full of like 20 pounds of iron.
Good job. I'm impressed.
You're back already. Anything interesting back there?
Yeah. We need to move one of those wooden walls down here and put it in front of here. I'm gonna need you to leave one of your alarm stones on it. What's down there is not something to be messed with, and if it starts coming up, you should know so you can get the hell out of here quickly.
Oh, okay.
Our plan is we need to get a couple of spells. Some of what they have is some powerful magic ability that we need to be reinforced against. So we're gonna rest up, get better prepared, and then head back in there and take it out.
Aye, aye. He scurries up to the front of the mine to get one of those walls,
Yep.
and he will move it down that passage.
Yeah.
So are you guys resting just outside the mine? Or are you going back to town? Or what are you guys doing?
What do you think?
Oh, I don't think we brought any sleep supplies. All of you are like, I don't want to sleep in the scary, scary mine.
Yeah, I guess we're going back to town.
We can offer to take them with us. You chaps want to go back to town?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we weren't going to stay here all night. We were going to head back once we were done.
We're happy to escort you, but it's probably best that once we get close to where the line is forming, you stay a bit behind us in your own separate line.
All right. You
And
guys...
don't let him know anything about the mine.
Oh, of course, of course. All right. You guys ready to head back to town?
Yeah.
Yeah, in disgrace. I mean, in confusion.
Yeah. So there's only one interesting thing you'll come across on the way back to town.
Ooh, this one's pre-planned. John's not making us roll the D100.
I rolled it.
Uh-huh. A likely story.
Yeah. Ronald might actually
Yeah.
like this particularly. You come across... I guess I should change the music because you're no longer looking through a mine.
It's gonna be like in the stories about Bissy. one of those mythical creatures is going to find us?
No. So you're about halfway back to town when you guys come across a mule-drawn carriage, or it's a wagon, with 2 dwarves on the front of it, and the back is open, and you can see as you're walking near it that there is a lot of stone and metal goods that are clearly for trade. You can see that they are wearing breastplates and they have war hammers on their sides.
Ah, wandering merchants.
Ah, a fellow dwarf. They're speaking Dwarven. Good to see ya.
Same.
Can I
You got
interest
you got a nice shine in the back there.
Aye. Can I interest you in some gold, or mithril, or adamantium? We got all the rare metals, and we'll give you a discount. We haven't seen many dwarves on our path here to the city.
Oh, I would love to be able to have enough coin on me to buy some mithril right now. I got one of these. I'm gonna assume that nobody speaks Dwarven because it's not come up yet. I got one of these new people that just don't understand the value of getting their weight down. They can't handle carrying stuff. You know how not our types are.
Aye, they look at your party and say, bunch of scrawny folk you're traveling with. No wonder. They're slowing you down.
Everything needs mithril. Everything. Otherwise, it's too heavy. I can't handle it. But I'm a little short on coin at the moment. I could trade you in some iron, perhaps.
Iron?
Yes.
We're actually needing some iron. We have all the rare ones, but we're low on the common one. We can trade you some iron for mithril, obviously.
I was going to say, for some sheep.
At a certain ratio, of course, but he kind of looks you up and down, but at a very fair price.
Excellent. What are we looking at for a ratio?
He strokes his beard.
Probably not a lot. I mean, iron is not. There is a thing somewhere for what a pound of iron is worth. I forget where. I know where it is in the PHB. Furniture, trade goods, and vehicles. That's where it is. That's food and spices, textiles and furs. Iron. Iron per pound is only worth a silver.
Damn, iron.
How much?
Not worth it.
How much do you have?
Right now, we're only probably got about 20 pounds to our name at the moment. The mine hasn't gotten really operational yet.
A mine? You have an iron mine?
We're trying to bring one back into operation. A lot of the miners have been without work because there's been a lot of dangerous threats deep in it. As we start getting deeper into it, we expect to find more problems, but hopefully when we get part of the way, far enough in, we'll have enough of the problems resolved that we can get mining back up and going.
The 2 dwarves in the front of the wagon kind of huddle together and whisper for a bit, and then the one you're talking to...
Before you make a final decision, by the way, if you got a safe way to get rid of some abyssium, we've got a lot of it as well. It needs to be a safe way. I'm not looking to poison the whole world here.
We can maybe talk about that, but perhaps we can give you an advance of some mithril if you promise to bring all the iron you get to us.
The only problem here is eminent domain is going to start kicking in after we start getting things too operational. So I don't know how long I can make that deal to you.
We'd be fine with it as long as we can get at least 500 pounds. You think that's doable before you run into trouble?
I would hope so. If we can't get 500 pounds out of there before the Queen starts wanting it, then the Queen's real desperate. I figure we could probably get at least a couple of ton out of there before she'll start realizing it's operational again and start wondering where a bunch of these peasants have suddenly started getting their corn from.
Aye, well, I'm willing to take your word for it, as you seem to be a man of orphan. I take it someone who'd wear his symbol proudly on his chest wouldn't go back on his word.
If I did, Arthur would strike me down, or at the very least, probably let Dalek do a number over on me.
Aye. Well, we got about, he looks in the back, 100 pounds of mithril. We can give it to you now. As long as you give your word, you'll supply us with some iron when you have it.
I don't need a full 100 pounds right now. I just need, I think, what I was looking at was just the rapier for Osrin. Yeah. Does anybody else have anything they need a weight reduction on? I don't think so, because I think Judge D already has a mithril rapier and a mithril plate. And so does Zoo.
I'm pretty misthrilled up.
Yeah, so I think just...
Can the longbow be mithril?
No. We can make it out of dark wood, but I'm not very proficient with wood.
Oh.
So if I had probably like just a pound is all I need at the moment to get her weapon up to spec.
Who's her?
I'm sorry, his. You can't hear my language anyway.
Aye. Well, no, we
actually,
have...
hold on. Buckler is the other one that she needs.
Also, could the wolf wear mithril? Would that be helpful?
The wolf could wear mithril, which might let us put it in a different weight class, but that's going to be more of a difficulty on my part of making, more than it is getting the weight worth the mithril from it. So right now, if we can just have a couple of pounds, maybe a pound or two, that should be enough for me to get started, and then we can start working on getting you the iron. You can take the advance if you want right now.
Sure. Load up the iron here.
I need you to come a little ways down with us to get it real quick. And we aren't carrying it with us right now.
All right. Just so you know as well, I believe I posted the loot. Did you guys take that last time? I think I said there was 100 pounds of iron there.
We didn't take it because it would have been too heavy.
Okay, yeah. So there's actually 200 pounds of iron ore plus the 20 that they just gathered.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So you have 220
pounds.
Yeah. I'll just
That's
repost that
difference, yeah.
loot thing for you guys if anyone wants to write it down somewhere.
Because we didn't really have a way to carry all that iron.
Oops, doesn't help that I'm... Oh wait, did that come out? Yeah, whatever. I accidentally had Judge D selected. He told you guys what you had.
Okay.
I am at no point in time going to reveal that I know what's going on in this conversation. I'm just going to sit there and just kind of like... And one point in time, I'm going to even say to one of my compatriots, I wonder what they could be talking about. Probably dwarven things.
All right. Well, I'll let him know. I'm sorry, I had the numbers wrong. When we get there, I'll feel a little embarrassed. Like, I'm sorry, I only saw some of what some of our workers pulled up from the below.
Well, hold on. So the wagon starts to turn around, and I guess did you just tell the party we're going back to give them some?
Yeah. I'll let the party know. Sorry.
Everyone cool with that?
I'll let him know. Like I've made an arrangement for us to get some mithril for some weapons and potentially some extra stuff down the road. We should be able to work out a pretty good trade arrangement for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah. So you guys just travel back an hour's way, and you can give them the 220 pounds of iron you have there, and they can give you the however amount, 5 pounds of mithril, whatever you need.
Just 2 pounds, just 2. I don't want to have too much on loan because I don't want to try to figure it, but I will throw the 2 pounds of iron or the 2 pounds of mithril in my inventory.
And while they're there, they just seem very interested in the mine, and they just say, "Oh, this is a dwarf having his own mine. Good to see it."
It's like something out of my dreams.
Should be very profitable for you.
Profit's not really the most of what I'm worried about here. What I want to make sure is that the people are making the money they need to. A lot of hungry mouths in the city that don't need to be dying. Especially with the war trying to come around the corner.
Speaking of that, I don't know if you promised this to the original workers, but we know a bunch of dwarves that would jump at the chance to work here, and dwarves are much more efficient at mining ore.
Well, what that might be useful is if we can get them to mine some of the areas with more abyssium. They'd probably be a little bit tougher, be able to handle some of it for a lot longer. Let us double down on what we're getting while we're getting it. So maybe if you have a few, we'd be happy to bring them in. But I do want to make sure the population of the city is getting in on this as well. I got to make sure it's fair to them first. But I'd like to work out some with you as well, because I think we can make it fair for everyone.
Aye. Once you get this mine up and running and you have some people guarding it and such, we can talk.
Very well. How about we meet back here in about 5 days?
It's a deal. He'll outstretch his arm to shake your hand.
I will shake. And in this moment, out of character, wish I were busy. Oh, I didn't catch your name.
You as well. We should know each other's name. Yes. I am Nokrog. This is my cousin, Gutul.
Gutul. I am Ronald Gould.
Ronald Gould. Strong dwarven name. I think I heard of your granddad.
Perhaps. I always felt like he was from a whole different world, though.
Aye. The dwarves these days, I feel like we're in our own world.
It does feel that way.
Speaking of which, this is all in Dwarven
and
still.
I wish these kids would keep off our damn lawns.
Have you heard the call of the Queen to the North? You thinking of going?
What do you mean?
You haven't heard?
I have not.
Word's been reaching that apparently the Queen in Maldonia, she's found some lost hammer that belonged to some old dwarven king of old that all the dwarves united under something as such. This must have been a long time ago, because I never heard of it. But anyway, she's been throwing her weight around, saying that all the dwarves are to come home. And that we need to worry about ourselves these days. We're thinking of maybe checking it out, but we haven't gone yet.
She been talking to the Fae folks, catching a little bit of the stories?
Aye, that's what we've been thinking. We don't want to be known as those ninnies in the very north, those elves holding out on their own. But we'll see how it goes.
Well, it's bad enough I'm already here bowing to one queen. I'm not going to bow to another that think they get authority because of some hammer.
Aye.
Hammers can be really nice. But there's no hammer that's going to make me want to bow to yet another queen.
Thinking the same, my brother.
Our friend's blessings be upon you.
You as well.
Good trade.
And yeah, they will head on their wagon.
What just happened? That was a long time that you guys were talking.
Sorry, a little hard when we meet up with dwarves. Gotta learn some of the news. Gotta talk about business. We might have a few extra workers that could help mine some of the abyssium that we can get once we get everything cleaned up down here. Or mine around the abyssium, rather. I think the door.
Right around the.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I think the
Did
dwarves.
you buy something from them?
We made a deal for the mithril. I'll show them the 2 pounds of mithril. I traded part of the iron and then a future amount of iron in exchange for this mithril we got here. So I can get your rapier made.
Ooh, thanks.
You're welcome. Be a bit of a project though, so I won't be able to get it done right away.
I understand.
Well, I'm good to go back. Sorry that took so long. But I think
It seems like you like talking to people, and I figure you don't always have other dwarves around, right?
Not always. But I don't want to be talking all the time. I do want to hear about all of you as well.
Getting a little meta there, aren't we?
We're all excited.
Yeah, you guys can get back on the road, and nothing else will catch your eye, or you won't notice anything on the way back, and you can get back into the city. There is a line, but there is no mine probe as you pass through. No will save needed. I assume you all concocted a consistent story as you're coming back into the city.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. I think the goal is to stick with and I'm gonna ask that we think about what we're doing as hunting. We are going out. We're trying to kill monsters in order to bring back whatever value they have, which in this case happens to be the mine. And that's just going to be the tale that we're going to get through. I don't really like the idea of having to do this, but if they're going to be standing here asking us a bunch of questions about what we're doing, we got to say something.
I hunt anyway.
What?
I hunt anyway.
Oh. Sorry, you're hard to understand sometimes.
I have no problem with the hunting thing. That makes sense to me.
All right, then. Forgive me.
Yeah, so you guys have your story. They don't seem to have any qualms with it. They let you pass. You guys heading to the Bispot or anywhere specific?
Y'all got anything you want to do, or do you want to have a chat over some drinks?
Wait, do you mean the group has a chat or you have a chat?
I already had my chats.
I think
seem
we
to
need
like
have
having a
chat
lot
to
of
figure out
those.
what we're going to do for these extra planers that we seem to be getting took us handed to us for.
I'd agree. Let's head over to the Bispot and have a little chat.
Yeah, you guys head to the tavern. I assume the tavern side, and there is a moderate amount of people in here. It's not super packed, but there's again some music going on, some minstrels playing. And yeah, it's just a moderate activity, nothing too crazy. You guys can pull up to your own table and have a chat.
I think along the way we should probably have a few code words, though. What we're working on, we want to refer to something that's easy to talk about as if it were something hunt-related. So what is it we could be hunting for that we're going to? Or where is a place we could be hunting? Maybe we call it the forest? What do you think?
Could it be the forest and then we were hunting sturges? Because
Yeah,
sturges buzz?
All right. So these sturges, what do we got on hand that we can use to help us deal with the problem? Or what are you thinking?
I don't know, could we
And a
put
character,
some
what
wax
are
in our...
sturges?
They're like 3-foot wide mosquitoes.
Oh, ew. Continue.
So, because they're extra planar, I'm not really sure if, wax in the ears would do anything, but it would be something, that could temporarily bump up our wisdom so that our saves are improved.
Would have been good if we could have seen one of them.
Yeah.
Thinking about what I can pray to Arthur for as well. Maybe I can
I
get
can
something
try to
that'll
see-
make the deal a little more fair. What about you?
Thinking about what I could do with the extracts. Hold on a second. What the heck is happening here? My screen is doing weird stuff. Stop, screen.
Can we also take a quick break sometime soon?
Yep.
That's a good idea.
Never.
Let's take
Take
a
one
break
now
here.
since Charles's computer is apparently breaking.
Yes. We're back as the party's
And
around.
we're back.
Yeah, the party's around the table talking about how to deal with this. Whenever you have a moment, Steve, you can roll me a knowledge, religion, or a straight up in check. And I'll give you a hint.
I don't have knowledge religion, so it will be straight up.
You don't have knowledge, religion as a cleric?
No, I
dirty
completely
cleric.
forgot about that when I was putting my character together. That's why I've been playing
you
up the whole
specifically
not
told
knowing
me not to take
exactly.
Knowledge religion, you're fired.
Alright, I can't.
No,
Can't
not
justify
at
it.
Well, I'm trying to think on what I can do here. Perhaps we can learn a little bit more about who you are, Judge D. Where do you come from? Why are you such a rat?
I'm indeed a rat, my friends. They recommend a syllabant S on them, which is a little harder to do than I thought, because I'm trying not to do a snake. Well, nearby here, there is a village with a large underground warren, and my people live there, and they make their living off of grift and thievery. And I did not think this was an excellent way to make a lift. And since I seem to be a little bit smarter than my brethren, I decided that I would rather spend time with the upside folks. And so after a while, I realized my small burg was not big enough for a rat with dreams. So I came here.
Ah, here for a bigger deal. Tired of the little
You
one.
got it. Yeah, well, I crawl in the sewers and you can be above in the sunshine.
Oh, the sun feels much better. Sometimes, anyway. Every once in a while, I miss the cool feel of the ground.
It's
Deep
still a little
below.
weird when you wake up and it's light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's missing that bossy smell.
Yes. Yes. Although there's a smell to the city, the smell in the underground is very different. Even when you're in the sewers, it still smells like earth.
How are the rest of you feeling about things? How are all of you feeling so far about things? Do you feel like this is something we're going to be able to handle well? Are you feeling a little bit nervous?
I mean, I feel confident in my ability in combat, except when magic is involved. That makes it a little bit more concerning, like, attacking you out of nowhere. That's not ideal.
Ah, you couldn't even hit me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Really thank myself, and I'll pat my my big metal chest plate. This thing has come in handy a number of times.
I still concerned.
I
You
can't
what?
hear you, little thing.
You're very quiet.
I still concerned.
What's your biggest worry?
What if all go mad?
I don't think that's gonna happen. My mind is like a stone. Wait, that
It's
makes it
hard?
sound like... Yeah, hold on. I want to sound like some kind of blockhead.
Oh, I get it dense.
Hey now! Hey now! That is a good one, though. I'll give that one to you. It was very well said. I got a joke for you, too. You'll love it. Actually, I forgot it. Sorry, wrong. Hard day.
Judge D, you can also give me an in check if you want. Because you actually did mention something that was very on the right track of how to solve this problem.
You said who can give me a check?
Judge D.
Judge D. Charles, whenever he has a chance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I spaced out. Okay, what kind of check?
Intelligence.
All right.
Oh,
So just
my
click
God.
on intelligence.
Yeah.
How
That's
bad did it go?
Not good enough.
Okay.
But I guess the hint I can give you, because you in character did say it, you did mention a method or down the right path of how to deal with this problem.
Yeah, I mean the wax in the ears might work, but it just the worry is if it will work. It would just be nice to have reinforcement for it.
Yeah, I mean,
I think the wax is a triable idea, but I am worried you're right. If it is magic or something similar, maybe we'll still end up succumbing to the effects.
how familiar do you think Ronald is with the cleric spell list?
Not very. I'm
Okay.
trying. The other thing I'm trying to play up here is that like he would be doing the thing where he's like sort of trying to pray for guidance, but because he hasn't like really learned how to talk to the gods yet. He's spent most of his life just kind of working with metal and realizing he has this ability to manifest spells, but it's more on like if I can think of something that I've seen somebody else do before, I'll do that spell, which is why he has like basic stuff that he's using most. He's got like the bless, cure light wounds.
Well, I mean, it is a pretty common spell. I feel like you would have seen at some point.
Well, I don't want to just give them a slight bonus. I want it to be something that will like let us get rid of it.
You do have that.
And I don't think calm emotions works, right?
That wasn't what I was thinking of, but you have a spell that like deals with this perfectly, and it is a pretty common cleric spell. So I feel like Ronald would know
Why is it
about
just not hitting me then?
It's a pretty powerful spell for its power level as well.
John, now you're just trolling
Power
me.
word thrill.
Well, I don't want to like say it if you feel like your character.
No, I
would
don't
know.
want you to say it. Because I don't think my character would know.
All right.
I honestly,
Then yeah, I given you enough hints.
yeah. Well,
Oh man.
all right. Quick and easy question. What's your favorite color?
Purple?
Do goblins see color?
Yes.
What's your favorite one?
You-
You know what the word favorite means?
Yes.
All right, I've got to make sure, okay? Yeah, you told me all the time that goblins didn't know their head from a hole in the ground.
I just never think that about it.
Ah. Too much other stuff on your head, huh?
Yeah.
What about you, fancy sword?
Take a guess.
Red, like the color of blood.
No, actually, it's silver, like the color of my blade.
Ah, good one.
Oh, that's
Good choice.
there.
I was gonna say bronze, like the color of my armor.
Why would I care about the color of your armor?
I was gonna say my favorite color.
Oh,
Chartreuse like the color of highly intoxicating alcohol.
that's Judge D's favorite.
They said
No,
purple.
Oh, purple.
So I think the character's color, right? I think he
All
has
right.
a purple hat.
Let's pick up some wax in the morning. And then, is there anything else y'all think we should be picking up along the way?
I can't think of anything.
We've all still got our potions, right?
How long do you think it'll take you to turn that mithril into updates for my my buckler and rapier?
Probably a couple of days.
Okay.
In the meantime, let's get ourselves some sleep. It'll be good to see you all in the morning. Healthy and better.
Not as confused.
Aye. Anybody else significantly hurt before we head to bed? Give 'em a little boost.
I took
Pretty
8 points to
significant.
damage.
Still got some scars that need a little bit of removal.
Nothing that sleep won't take care of for me.
Big maybe?
All right, here we go. Give him another 6.
Big good.
Excellent. All right, I think with that we can head to bed.
All right. Anyone want to do any nighttime shenanigans, or everyone's heading to bed?
I'll order a cheese plate to go. It's my comfort food.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just head to bed.
Yeah. As you guys are heading to bed,
We're attacked by demons. Fuck!
how'd you know? Zoo, you are stopped by, you see 3 or 4 goblins that are just, like, drinking a lot at the bar, and as you're, like, walking to go to the back to sleep, or leave the tavern to sleep, because you guys go to a different tavern to sleep, right?
Yeah, we go to a different tavern to sleep.
Right. So, yeah, as you're about to, like, you're heading out, these goblins notice you, and they kind of, like, wave at you and kind of run up to you, and they say, Oh, another gobbo!
Yeah?
You with them?
Yeah?
Why? You want to kill them and sleep?
No?
They your owners? You slave?
Hunting party.
Hunting party? Where you hunt?
Out in forest.
Oh. You no go near mountain, right?
No.
Oh, okay, you hear scary message too.
Yeah.
We stay away.
It really was only for goblins.
This is all in Goblin, by the way.
I know. I'm
Yeah.
I'm saying that out of character.
If only I was there.
Well, if you ever want to kill your party, we help you.
Okay.
Okay, be safe.
That's all.
And they'll just wave at you, and they'll go back to drinking.
Good to know I have people on my side.
So what's the cheese plate like at the place we're staying at?
Yeah, they give you, unfortunately... Oh, do you get it here or the place you're going to sleep?
No, the place I'm going to sleep. I'm going to go to bed with my comforting cheese plate.
Oh, damn. They, for a modest price, you get a whole cheese plate. You get Gouda, Brie, bocconcini, fettuccine.
Nice.
You get all this stuff.
Wait,
you get
did
some
you
pasta.
say fettuccine?
Yeah, there's some pasta in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And there's melted Parmesan on it. And there's all these other cheeses that are around it. But they also threw in this fettuccine in the middle.
Okay.
I was worried.
This
I was
is
worried for a second your brain broke and you thought fettuccine
No.
was a cheese.
This is their specialty cheese plate that comes with some pasta as well.
Man, that's freaking great.
Yeah, there's even some obscure nudini.
Like cheese.
Wow. Some stinking bishop, some all those
Yeah,
English
some
cheeses
blue
sound
cheese.
great.
Yeah, there's just an array of 10 to 15 different types of cheese.
Oh, thank goodness.
Some merchant just recently came through town.
Yeah, a cheesemonger.
Yeah.
Okay, well I'm gonna dine some cheese and mull over today's day. Trying to figure out some way to avoid the buzzing noise other than wax in the ears. I don't have any formulas that help at all.
Yeah, but otherwise you guys have an undisturbed sleep, so you guys can hit your rest buttons and it should recover your spells and HP and any other applicable things, hopefully.
My HP Lovecraft?
Yeah. The rest
hope it
button
doesn't
is on
replace
your is on your summary page above your HP, I believe.
Should have one more.
Thank you very much.
I'm still double checking my spell list here.
And my summary page above my HP, did you say correctly?
I believe so. It should say rest.
Yeah.
With a little
There it is. Rest. Snazola.
There you go. You got some constitution damage recovered and all this stuff.
I'm feeling better about life. Do I get any of this strength damage back?
This is the first night you're resting, so that's accurate from what happened.
Okay.
So no, yeah, whatever recovered. You have strength damage?
Yeah, I took 2 points of strength for some reason.
Did you mark it correctly? Because damage you won't recover, only whatever it did, I believe is the rules.
Yeah, because I don't think I would give myself a 6 strength. But maybe I did something wrong. I thought I had taken strength damage.
No, you
I
don't have any.
You did. You had a very low strength.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, you only have con damage, which you will heal with another night's rest.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
John, I think I remembered the spell, but for some reason I didn't think it was on the cleric list. And you're right. He would have encountered that spell at some point.
Yeah, it's a pretty common spell.
Yeah. We'll see if I got the correct one, but
I'm gonna go with.
it does obviously come with a downside.
Yes, true. But it's big for if you wanted to look at them without issue.
Yep. Go ahead. Sorry, Charles.
No, I was gonna make a joke. Sorry, not to.
But yeah, it's the morning. You guys wake up. No accosting in the night. And the day is yours to do as you please.
Well, we're gonna get the wax. See if that helps.
It's our brilliant strategy, huh?
Well, I mean, did you come up with anything?
No, I'm not the strategist.
I have a backup strategy if everything goes wrong. If the wax doesn't seem to work very well, we can back up, and I can make us all very, very quiet.
Ooh, silence, 15-foot radius?
20 feet.
20 feet, nice. Well done.
However, I'm not going to be able to help you out with any more spells until the silence is over. So I prefer we not have to. But yeah, what's wax going to cost us?
Just regular old wax, irrelevant, but if you want an actual wax that does something, it will cost money.
Okay.
Because there is an actual item that does do this.
Yeah, that's specifically what we're going to ask about.
Yeah, so you can find there is this magical wax called Wax of Defiance. It has 10 uses for 1200 GP, so you can get lower uses. But it gives you +4 bonus on all saving throws against these effects.
That's crazy.
And they last for 1 hour each use. So basically 120 gold a pop. That's before any negotiating or anything, if you want
to... Well, at the magic guy, Will have brought this up to him, like, all right, here's the deal. We got something that's trying to keep us confused when we go into one of our hunting arrangements. And we'd like to be able to overcome that. You got anything that can help us out? I've got silence normally, but I'm still would like to be able to cast the spells I need to cast.
Yeah, this wax of Defiance actually has no negative effect against casting spells, apparently. but it doesn't make you as immune as silence. It'll give you a higher chance of avoiding any of these sound-based effects, of course.
What are we looking at for cost, though? A little strapped for coin at the moment.
He kind of looks at you all. Is this in service of the Queen?
It is not in service of the Queen. It's our own private hunt.
Just some sort of holy quest? He looks at you, Ronald.
I believe that Arfin would be on our side in this quest, and believe that what we're doing is right and a fair deal.
Cleric of Arfin, eh? Well, if you put in a good word for me to the big man, I can give you a discount.
We may still not have enough. What are you looking at for a price?
Well, how many uses do you want? You want a full container, or do you want a half container? You need just one for each of you? Is that all you need right now?
Well, one for each of us would be probably all we need.
I can give you 4 doses for 200 gold. And you gotta put in a good word for me with the big man upstairs.
John, I don't know if you realize this, but I don't think any of us have that.
Did you sell off the loot I gave you?
We could trade the... I mean, there wasn't really a lot there, right? It was 48
there
gold.
Is plus 1 chain shirt.
Oh, the
4
plus 1 chain shirts. No, that's right. We have not sold this off.
I also still showing that I have 20 platinum on my sheet.
There you go.
Okay, so that is actually 200 gold as well. But actually, that's a good reminder, because I did talk... That was another thing we talked about at the end of last session. We've also got these chain shirts that are a bit magical. Maybe we could use them for a little bit of trade here. Not your thing, I understand. I can take it to somebody else.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't make use of that stuff. You might want to sell it off or trade it with someone else.
All right. He said it would be 200 gold for the set of them, though?
Yep, for 4.
All right, I'll ask everybody. Like, do we have enough money? Obviously, it can be worked out later.
I will pull out my coin pouch and like start dumping it into my hand to see what I have. And like 29 platinum will fall out.
Oh, that looks like you have enough.
I think.
All right then. I'll scoop up 20 and then set it down.
Excellent. He takes out one of these lidded containers that looks like a little less than half full, and it's full of this clear wax, and or it's amber in color. And he hands it to you, and he says, "All right, it lasts for about an hour, and it should be enough to put in each of your ears."
Aye, thank you.
Best of luck.
It goes well for us. And yeah, outside I'll say a little blessing over the his business. And then we should try to unload these mithril or these +1 chain shirts.
You have 1 +1 chain shirt, and you have 2 masterwork daggers.
Oh, I thought the 2x. No, I thought it's 2x
flask of
+1
acid.
chain shirts.
No,
after regular dagger.
2x regular dagger. Oh, okay, yeah. Sorry, you have 2. Yeah, sorry. Oh, that's, I guess, if you wanted to divest the...
Hold on, yeah, I don't think we would have taken that off of those guys, though. That's the problem, so...
Okay, so you could have kept their money if you wanted. They had 48 GP, or do you give them everything back?
No, I think once we'd have figured everything out, and once I'd have come back... Yeah, once I'd have come back, I'd have realized I took all of their money, and then I'd have given them the rest of the money back, because I did put that on my sheet.
Okay, so take away the chain shirts.
Yeah.
Alright, you want to head back to the mine? Any other provisions?
Well, do we want to prepare for the chance that we might have to sleep down there, or...?
Nope.
Alright then, back out we go.
All right.
Dangers to be run into on the road.
Yeah. Someone give me...
I'll be keeping an eye out.
Very nice. Give me a D100, anyone in the party.
$25. I act normally.
And now a D12.
What?
From him or anyone?
Only 4.
So yeah, you're heading out, and you just notice, as you head out for the day, the clouds get a little dark, and some rain starts to come down.
Weather. God damn it. Thought that was only for other campaigns. Arr. Rain. One of the worst parts of being on the surface.
Really?
Yeah. Makes everything smelly.
Oh. I like rain smell.
Yeah, as you guys push forward in your travel, you'll enjoy the smell of rain and the smell of thunder as thunder cracks.
Smell of rain is terrible.
Only happens when it's raining.
That's also not true. I heard that bard's tale. It's not factual.
Yeah, there we go.
Rain smell is one of the worst smells when it gets on animals. Your wolf will be smelling for hours.
Me.
Not me.
Stay
yeah.
far away from it.
Sounds like you problem.
Goblin has no respect.
What is the goblin supposed to do? Have a moving shelter to cover the dog?
Nah,
Yes.
there need to be better things than umbrellas. Still get wet in them. Dogs can't carry umbrellas. Perhaps that should be something I make. A dog umbrella. Sounds more like a gnomish or a goblin thing to make, though. Then it blows up. Am I right? And I'll, nudge the rat folk.
Yep. 100% a gnomish thing. 100% blows up.
That was supposed to be a joke.
Oh, well, if a gnome did make it for dogs, so it would blow up.
Oh. Oh.
You've
All
met
right,
gnomes, right?
I have. I've been around gnomes before.
Yeah.
They make a lot of things that are very scary.
Yeah. I'd make an umbrella hat that would fit on top of the dog's head. That way the ears wouldn't get wet and leave the rest of it alone.
But the rest of it's gonna smell. Oh, speaking of that, I'll walk a little further away from Judge D. Why has it gotta be raining?
Rain
Who knows?
Ask the sky.
This is Dalek's doing. Just know it.
Yeah, as you guys are almost there, you run into, or I guess 60 feet away, Osrin's the first to notice. There's a group of 3 people traveling along the road. Osrin, you with that, everyone else can roll me perceptions and I can give you the same detail, but Osrin, you'll notice, ooh, very nice. Yeah, I guess you all pretty much notice this. Yeah, it's good enough. There is a very stocky individual wearing this, heavy cloak. His armor is kind of jet black from, you're 60 feet away. You see it's, black. but it's clearly like some metallic material, but it's like it shines off black. And to his rear are two individuals in robes, wearing loose-fitting robes that are not super not any special material. They look just like an average, everyday kind of cloaks, and over their robes as well. And yeah, they're 60 feet away, traveling on the road towards the city, and you're going away from the city. Anything you guys want to do, or you want to just keep on your path and keep to yourselves, or...
What kind of sneaky shit are y'all up to?
So you yell that out, and they kind of, as they approach, they're within 30 feet, and the guy in front says, "What was that?" And he kind of like throws his cloak over, and you see this big long sword on his side. "You want to start some trouble?"
Uh-oh.
Just saying, you're dressed like you're out sneaking around.
And as he gets closer, you can see these, as he flips open his cloak too, you can see his jet black armor are in these little tiny scales of black that are all like throughout his whole armor plates. And as these two individuals behind him, as they get closer, you'll see one amulet on each one. One is of this like two-headed snake that's kind of like intertwined, and the other one is of an imagery of a blazing sword on the other one. You want to start something there, dwarf?
I'm not looking to start something. It's supposed to be a joke. You don't get jokes.
We don't have time for jokes. We're serious business over here.
All serious business, huh?
He kind of pulls back his cloak as he sees you're not actually wanting to fight or anything.
I'm about business, and I'll hold up my symbol of Arfin.
Yeah, and that's when one of the individuals behind him will chirp up and say, "Oh, travelers, sorry about him. He's, as you put it, the muscle." The one speaking is the one with the snake amulet, and he kind of approaches you guys and says, "Peace, peace, my fellow brother of the robe. Cleric of Arfin, I see.
Indeed.
Pleasure to meet you."
Same. Not familiar with that symbol, unfortunately.
"Oh, really? You've never seen the embodiment of Azrael?"
I thought that had something to do with triangles.
"Oh, yeah, sometimes, but, lately we've been clinging to this imagery of, every cleric kind of picks their own symbol, but..."
I suppose maybe. I like the coin. Makes sense.
Maybe. The other cleric kind of walks by and he murmurs to himself. He doesn't really talk to you guys, but the other individual too clearly kind of just stands off to the side of the road with his arms crossed, like they were like 10 feet away from you guys, and this other cleric is like coming up right to you and is like conversing with you and says, "Well, it was a pleasure meeting you, but you said you follow Arfin, right? Are you a fan of trade?"
I can be. Give it the right deal.
"Well, you're in luck. I have a special item that I've been looking to trade. I'm not sure if you'd be enjoying it or not, or what you'd value it. But if it's interesting to you, perhaps we can make it a deal."
What do you got? What is it?
Glad you asked. He goes into his cloak and pulls out this golden wayfinder. Its face is marked with white and silver motifs of roosters.
Roosters?
Mm-hmm.
Rooster. What kind of cockamamie bullshit are you trying to sell here?
Ha! I understood that one. But fear not, this is a very magical item. I'm not quite sure what it does, but I've been told that it is quite valuable. And anyone with, or anyone can make an appraise check if you want. You can try to value this.
I could throw my cantrips in here. I do not have any appraise, so it's not on me.
Hold on. Can't remember if I took appraise or not.
I don't have
You
any,
can-
but I thought you said anybody could do it.
Anyone can roll it. You just might not be good at it.
It's just not worth it for me to even try.
It's definitely worth for Judge D. Yes, very nice.
Yeah.
You don't get a precise reading on it, Judge D, but you know this is definitely within the thousands of gold range. Probably like 5,000 to 10,000
Ooh,
item.
this is a very high priced item.
Ah, I
Oh.
see. Good eye on this one.
Good noses as well.
I haven't been able to figure out exactly what it does, but I've been able to detect it is magical, and it is valuable. So, interested?
What are you looking at for a price?
Well, what are you willing to trade? What do you have?
Not a lot that we can spare at the moment. Fortunately. We're just kind of getting into the thick of things. So it's been a lot of us trying to work ourselves into the position of being able to afford things. You all seem like you're doing well for yourselves, though.
Indeed, indeed.
I don't know if any of you have much to trade. I know I'm a little strapped
No,
on
I don't
things.
Got rabbit bone.
Squat.
Nothing.
You said rabbit bone?
Yeah.
I see this one spoken for. He points to Ron and then looks at the rest of you. Do any of you have any religious beliefs?
No.
Nope.
Well, have you considered praising Azrael? And for such praise in your devotion, claiming right now, I have a special trinket for you. And he holds the Wayfinder out.
Who's Azrael?
Azrael is the god of chaos. He's a good god. He is neutral. It doesn't favor an evil or good person. He more is a fan of the chaotic nature of the world. And what is the world if not a bit chaotic at times?
Yeah, no, that's quite alright.
Are you sure?
Yes, I appreciate
Chaos
the
is a lot of fun. Like this right now, me offering you a priceless item for your mere devotion? Now, that sounds like an amazing trade if I were you. I'm not asking you to sell your soul, I'm just asking you to...
No.
When you reach out to the gods, you reach out to Azrael. If not, I'm sure you give prayers. Why not just direct them into a certain direction? Won't hurt you. In fact, it would even help you as he holds the item up to you.
Yeah.
You don't seem like you're a big fan of that. He goes to Yuzu. How about you, little one? You seem like you like shiny things. Look how shiny this is.
Damn.
It's pretty good.
Little goblin, are you interested? You could buy a lot of rabbit bones with this if you really wanted to as well. Although, if I were you, I'd keep it.
Don't be afraid. You can say what you feel.
Could also just hunt the rabbits.
True.
I do good that.
Yes, well, this would maybe help with that.
You have a lot of maybes.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it does. But, I mean, how many magical...
kind of like Arfin is the god of maybes.
well, how many magical items do you possess?
Looks at like the coat.
This would be another one, or your only one. Well, what about you? And he kind of like looks at... He's a lot shorter than you, Osrin. You've been pretty quiet. Are you interested in this?
Nope.
Not at all?
I mean, the Wayfinder, sure, I'll take it, but I'm not pledging my allegiance to your god.
I didn't say you had to pledge allegiance. I just said when you think of a god to offer prayers to, you should direct them to Azrael. Thank him for this gracious item I brought in front of you.
Oh
yeah,
my.
that just seems like manipulation.
You would want to give thanks to
he's
someone giving you a
just,
gift?
I also don't think of God and want to pray to them.
Really?
No.
Oh. That's not a good course of action. You know, the gods are very prevalent these days. Just 30 or so years ago, they took the ability to bring people back to life. I believe it was to punish people like you, not religious. You should consider changing your ways, or else who knows what other punishment might come our way.
Well, you think that's maybe what happened, don't you?
Well, I think it's probably what happened. Well, what do you think?
I think, at the end of the day, that the gods got it in themselves that they needed to showcase how important they were to humanity itself. And unfortunately, they realized they overstepped their boundaries. People started pulling away. And as people started pulling away, they had to change their mind.
Maybe.
Story does say some people still could do it. Even when everything...
I did hear
when
that
everybody
rumor.
else was banned.
The gods always do have their favorites. Think of the favoritism Azrael would give you for
Would
accepting...
maybe give you.
Of course, nothing's guaranteed in this life.
Nothing's guaranteed from Azrael.
Nothing's guaranteed from any god.
I disagree. As long as I'm fair to Arfin, he's fair to me.
Well, maybe it's Arfin who struck me on your path. Maybe this is the fair deal you're looking for. Although I do realize you can't beseech your god, so that wouldn't be fair of me. But perhaps this gift was meant for one of your other party members.
For all we know, the reason you're here is because Dalek thinks this is a hilarious trick.
That could be the case, too. However, I highly doubt it.
Well, it looks like we won't be making a trade, unfortunately. We got a long trip ahead of us.
How disappointing.
Safe travels, though, to all three of you.
You as well. Can I get perception checks from the party as they
We've all been robbed.
they make their way through the party?
Fucking guy.
Oh, this is apt. Everyone, only Zoo, you notice this. Maybe it's because it's to you. But, and Judge D, you do notice this. As he's squeezing by you, he tries to sleight of hand the Wayfinder into your whatever bag or
This
whatever
fucking thing is cursed as shit.
to you, Zoo. But you catch him in the act, so he kind of slips it in your bag, and then he kind of awkwardly notices you see him, and now the item's in your bag, and he just kind of looks at you. And Judge D, you notice this too, and he kind of looks at you, Zoo, and in Goblin he says, "Just take it. It's shiny. You like it. It's fun to use."
Goblin, keep your trinket and leave my friend alone.
Oh, hey, let's the Goblin decide. And he looks at you, Zoo.
I will pull it out and I'll look at it for a second, and then I will throw it back at him.
All right, you throw it back to him. Oh. He kind of just looks.
Very pushy.
He looks disheveled and disappointed, and his own party kind of yells at him, "Hurry up, hurry up!" And he's like, "Oh, all right." And then,
Oh, the thing must be cursed. It probably goes off every day in the morning the first time the sun rises.
Ugh.
but yeah, you can ignore him, and he will look disheveled and disappointed. So you guys-
Clearly thought he was cock of the walk.
But yes, you are back in front of the mine. You can head back in to where you last saw those creatures just before them if you want to do whatever prep you want to do.
Yeah, we'll put the wax in our ears and hope for the best.
Well, we know where the wall is, so we can get down to the wall that's below first, and then I think that's where we'll put it in.
makes sense to me.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
And then I'll lead the way.
All right. You guys encroach on that corner. You see the glow. You guys take the time to put that wax in. And you walk through the passage. And as you get to the point where you heard them before, you hear nothing but silence. Just the eerie echo, water dripping in the cave. Do you want to finish turning the corner and open up to the bigger chamber?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure, you turn the corner, it opens up to this larger chamber. You hear no buzzing, but you hear some like wings flapping from the ceiling. As you look up, you see some bats moving to you as they notice your presence, but they fly off. And as you look around, there's just this big open cavern. It's larger than your vision extends, so it like opens up in this big kind of ovalish room, and then at the edge of your dark vision, it kind of fades out, so the room goes further in. But it's just kind of like this big open crater style kind of area. As you walked in, it's kind of the downgrade slope into this like bowlish kind of room.
Well, what is the thing? I don't know if they can hear me.
But yeah, everyone
What's
can.
going on?
Everyone can hear you if you're talking in a normal volume.
Okay.
Yeah.
If
I
you
think
whisper, it
we
would
can
be
hear you.
harder. Yeah.
What is the damn thing? I want to like search around. Is there some way it could have gotten out of here?
The only way out that you can see is the way you came.
And
But-
the sign wasn't disrupted. It wasn't like making noise.
Oh right, so you would have moved that out of the way, and yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
disrupted.
Okay, so
And-
it still makes more noise. We have to have a halfling come over and
Well, you
turn
know
it
the
off
word.
except for- I'm gonna I want them to do their thing though. I want them to get used to whispering to it to make sure
Okay.
it gets shut off.
So yeah, they can whisper to it and deactivate it and move it out of the way for you. And you can walk in, and then you see this bowlish room. It extends further beyond your vision, so you could investigate the whole room by going deeper in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you don't hear anything or see anything as of right now.
No, I want to investigate. I want to find out like how this thing got out.
Yeah, so you walk a few minutes forward, and this big room goes further, and eventually it starts to slope upwards, and you kind of like go at the other edge of this bowl room, and as you go up, it's just like a 20-degree angle slope, and as you climb up a bit, and then you look to one of the walls here that you've reached, the end of it, there are these little, there's a lot of these little like honeycombed holes in the stone with what would be in them as you look at them. So there are some small, some large holes. You see the edges of some of the holes, they're burnt or blackened by some sort of something that may have burnt them at some point. You see these so you're looking through all these holes, you see some of these scorch marks on some, and some of them you see like this green kind of goo sap where there's like these needles, these long needles that are like 8 to 9 inches long, and there's like 5 or 6 of them like all pointed in different directions in the hole. So if you were to stick your hand in there, you'd get cut up by them, kind of thing. That's in like 2 of the larger holes that are like 10 feet in diameter, whereas some of the other ones were like 3 feet, 2 feet, 4 feet, and then there's like some that are like these 10 feet gouges in the wall that like go deeper in. But a lot of them are plugged up with this greenish goo. A lot of them have these needles, and there are some that are traversable if you can fit in a 10-foot area. It's like a 10-foot diameter hole.
I want to detect magic and see if any of it's magical.
Yeah, you will not detect any magic.
Okay.
Anything else we can get from perception, or is that still the same perception?
Yeah, you guys have been here for a few minutes. I'll just give you, what's your largest take 20 check?
I think that's
For
Judge
perception?
D's, like,
Yeah.
37.
37? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with that 28 and a 37 for sure, you can pick up. You'll see in one of these large holes, it seems like at first you like get panicked. You think it's like one of these creatures, but you see it must have been shedding or something. It's like the shell of it, but it almost looks like the creature. It must be like the creature, and you see like its outer skin is like it has like these two pincers, and it has like a tail with an empty spot where you can now see and put it together that those needles must be stingers that they have. What else would you notice?
Do we know what creature
What's-
that resembles?
Yeah, you can make another knowledge the planes as you can see an actual representation of the creature now.
And what size is it, did you say?
It is a large size creature, so it is 10 feet by 10 feet in size.
Who has knowledge of the planes?
Judge D.
I'm
I think
getting
He's
there.
rolling
Yeah,
it.
I'm
Okay.
getting there.
That's fine.
We gotta get you the little shortcut thing set up.
Yes, Judge D, you know this to be some sort of locust. Specifically, probably an apocalypse locust.
It's an I think it's an apocalypse locust.
What do you want to know about them? I can give you the general.
Knowing about how the confusion thing works is super important.
Yeah, I'd like to know how the confusion thing works.
What
So,
else?
yeah, before you ask questions, you technically get one question.
I thought with the 26 we get a couple.
Well, it's all variable based on the DC. It's how much
Yeah.
you've exceeded the DC.
I thought we would have exceeded it by more, but I was just guessing. Okay.
So I'll give you the buzzing thing because you've already experienced it, then I'll give you one additional question. So the buzzing you recall is when 3 or more of these locusts are in a group and they simultaneously flap their wings, they create a loud buzzing sound capable of driving other creatures mad. Any creature within 100 feet plus 10 feet per locust must succeed a DC 15 will save or go mad. And they are affected as if the confusion spell. The caster level is equal to the locust CR plus the number of locusts present. This is a sonic mind-affecting effect. And yeah, you can ask any other question about them as you wish.
And probably just resistances, right? Damage
Yeah, what
resistance
kind of
or...
resistances they got?
So they have DR5 slashing, so slashing will overcome it. They have very weak reflex saves, moderate fort and will save. They are twice as hard to hit as an average human with no armor, aka AC 20. And yeah, as you notice, they have the 2 pincers, and they'll probably have a sting attack. And yeah, that's the basics.
Oh,
And
There we go.
I'll give you just like the general description that Judge D also knows. So you know they are damned humans, twisted and fused into the form of a massive fiendish insect. They delight in torturing living creatures, drawing out the torment for as long as possible. Though these creatures have average intelligence, they are consumed by hatred and eternal pain, and therefore lack any kind of empathy or sanity. Apocalypse locusts particularly enjoy watching holy warriors suffer hallucinatory stings.
That's not fun.
Yeah, so they particularly are drawn to those of the holy persuasion. And-
perhaps...
You.
Do we want to try to chase in here, or do we want to try to trap them in here?
You want to do what and what?
We can try to chase him, or we can maybe try to trap him. Maybe there's some way we can seal off this area.
But we don't know if there must be another exit, right? They could just get out another way.
Perhaps you're right. Well, do we press on
I mean,
then?
it would be nice to just drop them, but then we have to figure out where the other exits are.
Your point is as fair as Artfin's deals. Shall we head in then?
Yeah, I think we need to head in and deal with this.
All right.
I don't know. That sounds terrible.
They do sound terrible.
100%.
Onward and inward.
All right, yeah, you guys.
We've only got a few. A little. We were out. Never mind. Just keep going, John. I can't think what to say.
You are pressing forward in the tunnel where you saw the shedded skin, or a different.
The tunnel where we saw the shedded skin.
All right, yeah, you guys walk through it. No one's claustrophobic, right?
Nope.
All right.
A lot of us are very okay with underground space.
Yeah, the tunnel gets a little tighter, going to like 8 feet around you at one point, but then eventually it starts getting bigger and bigger and opens up to another large room where you do start to hear the buzzing of these wings.
All right. I want specifically when I start hearing it first, since I'm at the front. I'm going to stop everybody, hopefully, because I know I need to will save against it. But
Sure, yeah, you can tell everyone to halt as you hear the buzz.
So despite the wax, he still hears it?
Yeah, he the save is indicating of this. He has, he barely hears it, but he hears it like a slight buzz. It doesn't even bother him at all. But you notice it, and you feel unaffected by its, the wings flapping.
Alright, let's be prepared. We're in close now. Let me know. Do you want to put your faith in the wax, or do you want me to go with the 100% option that makes me I can't cast spells?
Maybe
I feel like we bought the wax for a reason.
All right. Well, so I'm gonna buff us up before we move in, and then hopefully we'll do it okay.
I think you're on me because somebody's on me. Who doesn't have
Oh no,
permission to
John is
update,
preparing
so-
the next scene.
Oh,
When John does that, we get that
keeps
message.
giving me errors.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can use this map. I don't have another good cave map. But yeah, you guys can be like here, and you can actually, Ronald, you can like just get a sight of them when you move up here. You'll get a sight of one of them, and it doesn't seem to notice you, so you guys can take it from here and what you want to do.
I think I want to make sure we go in swinging hard, so I think I just want to cast Bless.
Am I supposed to have lost all sight?
You've lost sight?
Oh, yeah, she got moved into the wall.
Oh, sorry.
I think that was on purpose there.
You can all I'm just going to try and get you in a spot where you can have sight of what's going on, but Ronald's technically in the front.
Yeah, here.
Ronald's
I'll just put myself, like, here.
So you guys should all be able to see the one creature, and
all right.
And I don't know. Well, before you start casting a spell, I don't know if the other party members want to do anything because you're under the guise of.
I'm letting them know that I'm planning to cast the spell and get us all started. So.
Sorry, where is the one creature?
Do I have your character selected? Make sure you can see it. Yeah, so you should be able to see it. Should be able to see it here. Do you see the pings?
Oh.
Yeah.
I see the pings. I just don't see anything there other than the ping.
You don't see anything there? Where the pings are right now? You may need to zoom out a bit. I don't know how zoomed in you are.
Okay. Yeah, the pings before were showing not where it is, but I see it now.
Yeah, I was just trying to get you to look in the right direction and then bring you to it.
Oh.
Okay.
Do any of you want to prep anything as I cast Plus?
No.
Like ready an attack, or for when the bless happens?
My rapier ready. As
Hold on,
always.
I want to see if there's anything I can get extracty about.
Ready an attack when bless happens is Like
Alright.
attacking you when the blast happens?
No, attacking
Oh,
the
I'm
thing
gonna drink.
when the blast
I'm gonna
happens.
drink my extract
Okay.
of adhesive spittle
Ooh.
Ooh, okay.
and hope for the best.
And a bless we go. I have a macro for that. Yes. You get blessed.
Very nice. And if you guys want, I can enable the buff on your character sheet, or you can do it yourself. You should all have a bless buff.
Enable that mind. I'm feeling very lazy. Sorry.
Yes, I can
I
easily
want
do
to
it
work
for you.
on the.
What do I click? I clicked it.
If you go to buffs, there's a little checkbox for active, and that's all you got to do.
Oh, click the checkbox, right?
Yep. And even the wolf gets it, so don't forget it on the wolf.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, just wanted to make sure.
And
I
you
don't see the
all,
symbol next to the wolf. That's the only reason I was asking.
you all can roll initiative as the
But
bless
it may
goes
just
on.
be that I can't see it on the wolf.
I also can't see it on the wolf, but it is selected.
Yeah, when I select the wolf, the bless symbol is in the top right-hand corner. So you're right, it is working. I don't know why the wolf doesn't show up.
It also, for some reason, isn't showing at like full hit points, despite the fact that it is. So I
What's
don't know
going
if
on
that's
with this
that
wolf?
either.
Oh, it says
Oh, I
21.
see the wolf at 21 for some reason.
Yeah,
now.
whatever. I'll just put him at 27.
Yeah.
Where's my
Yeah.
combat music? As the bless goes off, you hear an abyssal tongue. Lord is ordinary. And combat will begin.
I'm not sure what the fuck that meant.
But you have that ready attack, Michelle. You can fire that off on whatever you saw, whichever one you can see.
Gotta remember how to move around.
Yep. Click on it, right click on it, and then click the target button. Oh wait, why? Oh, double right click on it, sorry. And that'll target it.
Start off with a regular arrow.
Ooh. That unfortunately will
wild.
not hit.
I think they're a little lower down. Unless you were trying to knock that stalagmite down.
We'll go with that.
No private dice there.
Alright, this first one feels the holy magic envelop the area and will go for the holy man.
See it? So I'm not just saying holy shit.
Won't let me because it's colliding with some walls, so I'm just gonna move
Yes, fight the walls.
it. And it will try and sting you with its tail. Ugh.
No game.
It misses. It curses. Ronald. This unholy creature is in front of you.
Yep, I'm gonna take a 5-foot step back. And I am going to cast a. What is it? Cast a Shield of Faith on the wolf.
Okay.
Nope, I did not hit the right target. But,
It's all good.
but yeah, does the wolf need the buff? I can drag it over to the wolf sheet.
The wolf does need the buff.
All right, I got it. You carry on with what you're doing. I'll drag it to the wolf sheet.
Osrin, you're up.
Okay, so let me see. Hang on. Into move. Oh. Sorry, I have to be zoomed out enough to see them, but then I'm too zoomed out.
This wolf has an
to
AC
be
of
able to move.
23. Jesus.
I think that's close enough.
Yep.
Attack.
Ooh, solid hit.
Apply that beautiful damage.
Zoo.
And that is all for me.
Yes.
Alright.
If only you had a shiny gold wayfinder.
That's probably cursed.
What a shame. I'm gonna have to move so I don't hit somebody right now.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take in a penalty. You won't hit us.
Yeah, they'll just get a bonus to their AC based on how many people are in the way.
Yep. So if you move to the right of where I'm standing, you won't take the penalty.
Yeah.
Because you have precise shot, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. And I can also point blank shot.
Yep.
Oh, wait. I can try these.
Oh, come on!
Oh. That's unfortunate. But your wolf's up.
Yep. It's like a direct line to charge.
Yes.
Alright. Gonna charge.
Alright.
Go. No, I'm not.
No,
Ooh.
come on!
Why do my rolls
Unfortunate.
suck?
Judge D.
Combined total roll of 4.
Okay, so I am going to first attempt my prepared spell, my prepared extract.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
would he have gotten that already
Yeah.
to start the round?
Yep.
Okay. So you'll still have another action.
Okay. All right. So, all right. Excitingly, I guess I rolled a hit, right?
Sure, yeah. Against touch, right?
It is touch.
Ooh, its touch is very poor.
Okay. So, range. I gotta be within 15 feet. If it has, there is no spell resistance. Viscous. Okay. Oh, I do not have to make a successful attack roll to hit the target. The DC to counteract the effect.
What is this? What was this called again?
Adhesive spittle.
I just feel like I'm in an old time radio program.
Okay, so yeah, it's my DC.
No, it functioned. Oh, except you do not have to make a successful attack roll to hit your target. That's weird.
Yeah, so he has to overcome the DC of my alchemist level. So that.
Oh yeah,
is
so he
intelligence.
makes a reflex save versus it instead of hitting.
Yes.
All right.
So that should be 10 plus my int modifier.
Plus the spell's level, so 1.
So yeah, so that's 14.
Ooh, that's a failure. What happens?
Yes.
He is Tanglefoot batted, so he is entangled. And-
Entangled.
Yeah, stuck to the floor.
Entangled.
Okay, and then I got to roll for I got to roll for how long? So that is
2d4,
2d4
yeah.
rounds.
Don't be 1. Well, we know it's not going to be 1. Don't be 2. All right, 4 rounds.
4.
Nice.
Very
All right,
nice.
So I'm going to come up with my rapier, and I'm going to do some stabbing. See how well that works?
Well, spitting it is still a standard action, so you can move up, but you won't be able to attack. It's a
All right, I'll move up, and that's all I'll do. Pretty.
you got to
pleased
move
with
yourself
that,
up then.
though. What's that? I'll
Move yourself
myself
up then. Yeah. Right here, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I'm engaging. Hold on, I need to adjust myself. On the map, I mean.
Yeah. You're way up top right. We're
Yeah.
down a little
How do
further
I,
left.
how do I
Right click
get it?
and drag will move the map around.
Okay. All right. That is much better. Thank you.
Yep. Now you should be able to move yourself in a position. Remember, you can click on your character and use the arrow keys to move if you want. That does sometimes make it easier.
I'm going to go.
Oh, now you're in him.
Not
Hold
there.
on. One more over. There you go.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. When I was doing my sake for Starjammer, I was digging Mickey Mouse voices all night. And since I was actually running it like in the middle of the night, it was getting mixed reviews.
All right, is that all from Judge D?
That is all from Judge G. That is all.
All right. This thing's glued to the floor. Well, technically it's not because it's a flying creature, but it needs to make...
Actually, if it's flying with a Tanglefoot bag, doesn't it actually fall?
Yeah, but it was close enough to the floor to attack, so falling
gotcha.
it does fall, but it's not like glued to the floor. But it still needs to make... I mean, that's just flavor. It's still the same thing.
It's fine.
It needs to make a DC 17 strength check, or by dealing 15 points of damage to the goo with a slashing weapon. Okay, it's gonna just attack the goo at its base with its pincers.
Wait, that's only one of them though. The other ones didn't do anything?
Apparently not. Nothing you guys could see. Oh, sorry, I had you targeted, but it's targeting the goo, which I believe is just, what is it? Just like an AC 10 or auto hit?
I think it is. I think it's just damage. You just deal damage.
All right. So with both pincers, it gets the goo off it, and is no longer gluey, but it is no longer entangled. But that was its turn. Oops. No, stop. This one no longer entangled. There we go.
Well, that bought us some time.
Yep, that soaked a lot of damage.
A quick thing that we didn't do. Even though I hate to hurt us for this, would they have needed to make their will saves to start this round?
Yes.
Sorry, guys.
That's quite all right.
Steve is assisting the DM.
Well, I don't want to be
I
cheating,
respect-
so...
Yeah, I respect his stance.
I don't. Wait, how come we have to do a will save?
So
Because there are
just-
three of them making
yeah.
the buzzing sound, which gives us the confusion
But we
effect,
have the ear.
which gives us a bonus of
Anyway.
+4 against it.
No, it's perfect.
Are we gonna add the +4 after we roll it? Or
Yeah,
should we
I'll
add
just
it
manually add the +4.
Okay.
Oh, that's not good. I don't
Yep.
think I'm going to make
Don't
it.
forget the wolf has to save as well.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
All right,
Even
Judge
with
D.
the 4, I have an 11.
Yeah, roll
So
your
you wouldn't have
D100.
acted.
We can just let his action have taken place, and then he can just be confused now going forward.
I almost typed 1,000. 48.
48. I think you just babble. Let me double check.
So that'll be this round's action.
Does nothing but inco. Yeah, so this round you're just babbling to yourself. But
Babble,
Ronald,
babble,
you're up.
babble.
All right.
You're
Well, it's a
allowed
little
to raise
late now
them.
because we know that like me silencing isn't going to turn it off, right? The buzzing takes its effect.
No, it's a constant effect, so if you silence it, it will stop it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, then I will cast silence.
Ooh.
Well, I don't know that I won't know that he's confused yet, so
True.
I'll do it next round when it's obvious that he's confused. I don't want to metagame. I think instead I will reach out and I will touch. Wait, is your bow's not magic, right, Michelle?
No.
All right, then I will reach out and I will touch her bow
Touch my bow.
and make it magic.
Magic
Wait, why is
bow.
that? Why did that make a 50-foot range? That's not how that spell works.
Weird. It must
Now
be
Now I
programmed
can't find the
incorrectly.
center of the spell.
Everyone gets magical weapons.
It should just auto go away when your turn's over. All right. Anything else your turn?
I'm just going to take another step back.
All right. Oh, it didn't go away. I'll get rid of it. But Osrin, it's your turn.
It also highlighted literally everything on the map.
Yeah, you magic weaponed everyone.
Everyone is now magically weaponed.
21 will hit for 10 damage.
That's fun.
Great.
So good. We're just gonna die from this stupid encounter.
No,
Take a
we're
5.
killing it. That was her hitting.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, already?
Yeah, it's getting bloody, but it's
I'm
still
just taking
alright.
a 5-foot step back.
Okay. Zoo.
Alright, I'm gonna try and hit it again.
Hopefully. Oh. Is there any... Oh, the +1 from the enhancement will make it hit.
Yeah.
Yay!
Solid.
And now it's got pheromone on it, so the wolf.
Yep, on the wolf's
gain
turn.
Very
+2
nice.
bonus on attack and damage.
Very nice. Wolf's turn.
Let's go om nom nom.
Ugh.
Or we can try.
Unfortunate, that won't do it. Judge D, you babble incoherently. Mm. This thing will come on over here.
Ah, they snuck around us.
Oh wait, there's a holy man.
Yep.
And it will expel some flame.
What? John, this was not on the itinerary. John! I checked my flight plan. No!
Oops.
Oh, okay. So a lightning ball is what, or a firebolt is what this is. Got it.
But yeah, this just targets Ronald. Very inefficient, but they...
Why is it a will DC?
That's a will save, apparently.
All right.
Well,
Weird.
that's favoring you, I guess.
Just disbelieve the fire.
Nice. So wait, does that negate?
It says will DC 15 negates.
Does it say negate?
It
Oh.
does.
All right, yeah. The flame kind of surrounds you, but your belief in the higher power, your strength of will protects you as the flame passes around you and
Good
doesn't
job,
harm you.
Steve.
Harfin is here to make sure the deal is secure.
This thing curses in some language you don't understand.
Glorfin?
Did you say chlorophyll?
No, Glorfin is a dwarf from
Oh.
Lord of the Rings.
This thing will fly above you guys and go here, and we'll try to hit you two with the same breath weapon. Well, actually, it just hits Ronald, actually, because it's a line.
Yeah.
So it's just going to go for Ronald again. Yep, another will save.
No! It's not a
So-
fear effect, is it?
No. So you'll take 6 fire damage.
Accursed brand, whatever that is.
Yes.
I'll take the 6. Does that make me easier to hit kill?
Nope, you have no idea what this does, but you feel your flesh just get, like, singed by this unholy fire. And, the thoughts of Judge D telling you that these things love tormenting the holy creatures giving them hallucinations, crosses your mind. This thing will fly over the pupper, provoking AOs from all three of you. By three of you, I'm talking about Osrin, Pupper, and Judge D. If you have weapons out. Oh, that will hit.
Chewy chomp chomp.
Chewy chomp chomp. Good old stanza.
And yeah, we get attack from Judge D if he has a new weapon out, and Osrin as well.
Wait, so we each take 7 damage?
No.
No, it's getting bit for 7 by the wolf.
Oh.
Well, it's
And you
getting
can
bit
attack
for
it.
9.
Yeah, it's just like flying over you, going for Ronald, and it's like as it comes down, you can like swipe at it. Oh my god, that's some good damage there. And Judge D, you don't have a weapon out, do you?
Oh no, I do have a weapon out.
Oh, okay.
Yes, drew the rapier while moving over.
Okay, so I targeted him, and then how do I do the...
So if you right-click your token, you can see that you have like a little rapier icon. You have a dagger, and then you have rapier, mytho rapier. You can just click that.
Okay.
Or you can do it off your sheet, whatever you find easier.
And then I right-click, and then I... Why does it keep closing? What am I doing wrong?
So double right-click on the monster.
Okay, double right-click.
That'll select it. Then right-click on yourself, and then
Okay.
click the one on the left for the mithril rapier. The weapon on the left at the bottom of your
I'm
character.
trying to do it, but it just keeps closing.
No,
Am I
you're
doing it wrong?
left-clicking on the mithril rapier, not right-clicking on. Once you right-click on your character, then you left-click on the mithril rapier.
Okay, so... All right, so now I'm right-clicking on my character.
Right.
And you
then
see all
left
the-
So I
click
have all
on-
the stuff open. I
Yeah.
see
Yep.
mithril rapier.
and left-click on the mithril rapier.
When I go to get there, though, the window closes automatically.
Do you see a little window anywhere saying like normal attack or anything like that? Does another window pop up?
No.
You might need to try closing your character sheet and then try doing this again.
Okay.
And now see what happens. Like, do the same thing. Right-click your token, click the left-click the mytho rapier. Does a little window pop up now?
The window pop-ups? Yeah, now I see it. Okay.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
it's another bug with the pop
That's-
out.
Oh, it's such a silly little thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Okay, single attack, 18.
That'll hit with flank. Oh wait, does Ronald have a weapon out?
Ronald does not have a weapon. He doesn't carry
Okay,
a
no
weapon.
flank then. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
Does
okay.
Judge D happen to have scent?
Do you have scent?
That is actually a really good question.
That's a hell of a question. I don't remember.
I think we looked this up, and I don't think Ratfolk did actually have scent.
Yeah, I don't think Rathflow could get to that. Hold on.
Oh no, I do remember this. Yeah, because he would have had to have traded out a couple of his traits for it.
Okay.
Scent requires you to replace the Tinkerer trait. So nah, no scent.
No scent. Sorry, everyone.
This thing will try to sting at Ronald.
Oh, that actually hit me.
Hell yeah.
It actually hit me. Fuck.
And
It's not supposed to be able to do that. I will take it. -9. Ouch. I added it already.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's anything additional to this sting. Yeah, I need a fort save. As this green goo gets injected into you. Ooh, yeah, but oh yeah, you don't even. The pus kind of like tries to go in your dwarven skin, but then it just gets like ejected from you.
Pathetic! You're trying to poison a dwarf.
True, Ronald. I didn't realize this, but dwarven clerics are actually like a good counter to these things.
All right, let's. I gotta fix some certain things. Step 2 here. Actually, can I go back? Hold on. Yeah, I can go back to there. And I will. Cast silence on. Oh, actually, that's right. Silence is a location effect, not a. Oh no, it is 20-foot radius centered. I don't know why it's letting me do this anywhere else then.
I think it's. Didn't it say you can put it somewhere? You can like throw it at someone, can't you?
Uncasting a spell, complete silence prevails the area. No.
Well, because it's centered on a creature, object, or point in space. So you pick where
Oh,
you're...
that's why. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then I will put it like basically on this stone pillar right here.
Ooh, okay.
And that'll cut off the sound from two of them, which should clear up the confusion for Judge D.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Osrin.
And keep it out of my silence range.
Oh!
Oh!
It is barely alive as it flaps its wings, cursing at the cleric in front of it. Zoo.
That's it.
Alright. I'm gonna take Enos 5-foot step back.
Everyone looks pretty damaged. Do you want maybe you go for one of the other ones and your wolf can take it down, or do you think you'll take it down and have it go after one of the have the wolf go after a different one? I don't know, I'm just saying. Do what you're doing.
There's also one else on this one, so yeah, I might go after it. Let's go after the one that's behind me. Nice.
Oh, nice hit. It squawks in pain. Wolfie.
Oh no.
Nice.
Oh, very nice. And that'll be enough to bring it down. It collapses on the
Yeah!
ground.
Oh, good job.
Judge D.
All right.
It's oddly quiet.
So I'm able to attack, or
Yeah. It's just very quiet.
Your
Eerily.
mind is your own.
my mind is my own. Wonderful.
Yeah, the buzzing stops.
All right. Let's see. There's just the one.
There's one to the left and one down south of where Michelle is.
Down here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to move over toward the one to my left. Move
Okay.
my 15. 1, 2, 3.
I can move this out of the way.
Okay. All right. I'm just not going to get
Need
close
one more
enough.
step there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you've got reduced movement because you're small.
Yeah. So I only go 20 feet.
So 1, 2, yeah.
So
You can come one more to the left actually, because you did 1, 2. Oh no, that's I can't count. Oh no, yeah, 1 here because you were here before. So that's 1, 2, 1 diagonal move, and then you can step here to be on the corner.
Hold on a second. I think I wrote that down wrong.
You didn't diagonal step properly. That's why.
No, I think I get 30-foot movement. I think I've been moving.
No, you get 20-foot movement. Ratfolk have a base speed of 20 feet.
Okay. All right. Okay, so where am I at, Steve? Sorry about this.
You got one more. You can step one more to the left, because you could have diagonal step to have gotten where you were.
All right. Shit. But I can't. He's up in the air.
He's in. You can strike him if you want. He's in like 5-10 feet range. You guys also notice that they clearly have reach, but they're not attacking people that move in their threat radius. For some reason or the other. Any bonuses on top of that?
I got nothing.
And that misses, unfortunately.
It happens. They all can't be hits, my friend.
This thing will fly over you and Osrin, provoking attacks of opportunity.
Yep, it wants me dead.
Yes.
It only cares about Osmond.
Ah, that rapier will not hit, unfortunately.
Zoo, not Zoo. Yeah.
Oh man, even worse.
Damn.
17. Fuck, I can't get a fucking hit on this guy.
That'll miss.
Ha ha! Denied.
This one will fly over your head, Zoo. I don't believe you get an AO.
But not with a
But
bow
Zoo-
yet.
And this thing will try to swipe at you with its pincer.
No! That is so much fucking damage, John.
These things are crazy. They hate the
All right,
holy people.
I've taken it. Holy shit. Is what's
Rano.
going on here? Yeah, I'm getting a little
You
trapped
can
here.
heal yourself or something.
Yeah. Fuck. I know they can reach, so I'm like, because I know if I can't get more than 5 feet away from these things, without withdrawing, and I'll still provoke an AO. Shit. I think instead I am just going to. Where is. Full defense not on here?
No.
Let me check, double check.
I believe it's just +4 dodge AC.
Yeah,
Unless
I
you
just
have
want to make sure I
3
plug it in
ranks
right.
in acrobatics. Then it becomes a +6, I think.
Is that what I want to do here? I could go defensive and try to cast the spell, but that's. I don't know if I'll make the spellcraft.
Whitney, are you still good if we go for another 10 minutes or so? I imagine this shouldn't take longer than that.
I will do my best.
Okay. It's up to you guys. We can take a pause here and we can regroup next session.
I mean,
It's up
it
to you.
seems close enough, and
It's pretty
someone
close.
could also just play me, because all I'm doing is clicking a button at this point.
It's up to you.
I think I will just simply go defensive and try to cast a spell, cast a cure on myself.
Okay.
So that'll give me a +2 to AC, and but I need to make a concentration check to succeed at the spell, right?
Mm-hmm. I believe it's 15 plus the spell level, so 16 you
Yep.
need.
Oops, I didn't mean to click edit. Click reroll.
Very
Ooh,
nice.
very nice. All right, so then cure. 16 back to me.
Oh,
nice roll.
god damn.
Nice time for that roll.
Do you want to resist the magic with a will save?
No.
All right.
Why is Arfin helping me here?
Osrin. Your cleric's getting
Make a
stung
very
and
defensive.
pinched. Ooh, that will be a hit. I assume you're hitting the one right in front of you.
Yep.
Very nice. Zoo.
Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Do I want to do
They both look equally as... Or this one looks more bloodied. This one is a little less bloodied.
I think I'll keep on the one on the bottom.
Alrighty. Oof. And you have a +1 addition, so that's 18. Are we missing anything else? I think everything's in there. You got point blank. Dex, yeah. It's unfortunate that will go wide. Wolf.
Wolf was going to try and fight the one on top.
Mm-hmm.
Nom nom nom.
Ugh!
No flank from Ronald, eh?
Nope.
And he has
Wolf should have moved down a step, but
Oh, you can do that.
doesn't really do tactics.
Yeah, it's up to you. Would you have told the wolf to go 5 foot down?
She couldn't because it's in a silence area.
True, wouldn't even be able to hear you.
Yep, that's the problem.
Alright, Judge D.
All right. Attack it again.
Okay. You don't have any more of that spittle?
No,
Damn.
we're not very flexible.
Ooh, but that will hit.
Okay. All right. Is that a big 2 piercing?
That's right.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's basically 0
Yeah.
because they have DR5 slashing. Now, is that you rolling now that I've recognized that this is why they're taking so long to kill?
No. This thing will try to come at you with its pincer. Oh!
What the fuck, John? What the actual fuck? I just healed myself, you son of a bitch.
Oh my goodness.
I will go unconscious, taking 23 points of damage.
That stinger just finds the weak spot in Ronald's armor, and he drops.
Damn.
So much for his prized armor.
Yeah, they're not by any chance. Actually, let me double check what because this gives me something as a DR, but I don't remember what. Just keep going. I'm gonna look up the.
This thing will fly over
AC
here,
bonus.
provoke 2 AOs from Osrin and Judge D. And it will try
Okay.
to throw a stinger at Osrin.
Which one is it? The one that just flew over?
This one here.
Oh yeah, they're not magical beast or monstrous humanoids. I'm assuming since their knowledge of the planes. So. Okay, it's funny.
All right. Missed there because that's an 11.
And I need a fort save from Osrin as the stinger kind of jabs you in the arm. Oh, but to no effect. And Ronald, stabilize check.
Yep.
Ooh, very nice.
Stabilized.
Osrin.
So now that I put the rage into place, like, what do I need to do to
Do you have a
make
rage
it
buff?
effect?
I think we have a buff for you.
Let's
Yep.
check your buffs. Turn them and turn that on.
Yeah, I can turn it on
Oh,
for you if
okay.
you want, or if you got it.
I just
There you go.
okay. Now I can just use my normal attack.
Yep.
Yes, and it should be all working. So you see your friend go down and you go into a rage. Ooh. That is a hit. It is very bloody, but still up.
Oh,
Zoo.
I'll take.
This is on me, guys. I'm sorry. I did not prep the weapons against evil spell that I should have prepped because I for
It's
some reason
alright.
didn't think it would
It
work in this
happens.
combat. But then I just read it and it
Eh,
was
you guys are fine.
I don't know. I think we might actually die from this.
Here, Zoo's gonna come in with a big crit right here.
We're a
that'll
party
make
of
it fun.
piercing damage versus DR5 slashing. And all I had to do was prep one spell.
Ooh. Oh, you shot the one on the bottom?
Yeah.
Alright. Nice damage. They are both very bloody. Wolf.
Wolf is going to fight this one. At least try to.
Yes. With the pheromone, right? This is the pheromone shot one?
No, that one I thought died.
Yeah.
Oh, no pheromone?
That was the first one killed.
Is there any bonuses missing from the doggo?
No.
Unfortunately, I do not. Yes.
Alright, Judge D.
Unless you wanted to give him a +1 favoritism bonus?
No.
Judge D should step down at least 5 feet and try to get in a position to be flanking with the wolf.
Down?
Yeah, just take a step down.
Right there?
Yeah. Now you get a nice +2 to hit.
All right. Hooray. Is my character sheet open? I just didn't realize. Hold on a second. There it is. It doesn't matter. I haven't really been hitting.
Oh, yeah.
You just did.
There you go.
Oh yeah, but
Right,
it doesn't really do damage, but it's really about giving the wolf the flank.
You know.
Oh. I need to spend more time thinking about my spells.
Alright, it gets its attention to this pupper, and it's going to give it a sting. Oh, misses.
Ah!
Thank you, Shield of Faith.
Yep. This one will keep on this one that's doing a lot of damage to it with some stinger to bring you down with some poison. Oh, that will not hit. Osrin. Oh!
At least the damage keeps coming.
Yeah.
Oh! One left. Zoo, can you take it down?
I can sure as heck try.
It looks around, seeing itself surrounded. Maybe it'll go just try to finish off the dwarf.
No!
Oh, no! Wolf, save your dwarven
on.
friend.
You can do it, buddy!
Oh, no! Judge D.
I accept my fate, John.
All right. We're going to hit. No, we're not.
Oh, boy.
I accept my fate.
Unfortunately, this thing does not have the will to die for this, so it will try to run.
Oh, it can always withdraw action.
Yeah, it's not going to because it needs to fly faster. So it will start to fly, and you guys can take your attacks. The wolf can bite. Osrin, you can slash at it or just let it go. Bite will miss. Rapier will miss.
Oh!
And it will fly away. Oh! But Judge D will hit it! For 1
But
damage.
I will do no damage whatsoever.
You give it a little smack on the butt as it runs away. And we can get out of combat.
Oh, that would have been so much better if I had remembered this Weapons Against Evil spell.
Alright, I'm gonna go to bed. Good night, guys.
Okay, good night.
And also that I had Stone Shield prepped.
Ooh, yeah, that would have been nice.
Not used to playing clerics.
Do my arrows now.
Well, my other weapon is a hand crossbow, which would do no damage whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, if I'd have used Weapons Against Evil, it gives it overwhelms for. I thought it was just against creatures that had the evil DR, so I didn't think it was useful. And then I was like, I should just double check it. And I opened it up, and sure enough, it was against, it's just DR5 of any type as long as it's not epic.
Alrighty, I got you guys your XP for the session. Should have went on your sheets.
It did. We are so close to leveling.
Very nice. Is there anything else we can stop the session here as we're down someone? Oh, and I should be going to the other
I think that is enough.
overlay.
Yeah,
Yes. GG, guys. Well fought. I'll end the session here. GG.